play Kay.
No, he's not.
I don't know how that works, but I'm game.
It doesn't work very well, I can tell you that much.
You play dice. I think that's all we've got in front of us. We haven't got chips or coins.
Wow. Terrible joke, Damian. Also, we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Crabby D&D. I am currently here with my players. Kat.
Hi.
Damian.
Hello.
Lloyd.
Darrow.
And Vinny.
Hello.
Romulus will be joining us shortly. He is just a little bit delayed because things have caught him off guard. And Kay is around somewhere. We just don't know where. We haven't found him yet. He rolled so high on his stealth check. He may show up at some point. If he does, he'll get a surprise round. But for now, we don't know where he is. Yeah, he'll be here at some point, hopefully. And if he's not, then, hey, his stealth was just that good. So, yes, we are back from our 2 weeks off for various reasons, and now we have everyone here. Jamie is currently calling in from a hotel, so that does mean he does sound different for the session.
He does.
Yeah, but he sounds alright volume-wise and all that, so it should be alright. So, yeah. Alright. Are you all ready to begin?
Yes.
Oh, that's what it once.
Yeah, don't all rush to answer, guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
I'm
will
counting
be. I need to
coins.
be right back in 30 seconds.
Okay.
I need to go get food.
Okay, no worries. I'll just do the introduction. That's fine.
Apologies. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine.
Go on ahead.
Well, I'm back from my holiday. The weather wasn't necessarily amazing the whole time, but hey, that's fine. Last session, our party of hodgepodge adventurers, Kat, Damian, Kay, Lloyd, Romulus, and Vinny, swept through the Bevots Manor, freed Christine, and released the true mana-burnt presence that had attacked them previously, before one final assault was made. Through a courageous battle, the party won out, healing up and put Lenning and Lord Bevots to rest, before returning to the front door, where it currently gently rains. Under the front porch, you all stand, the fresh rain bringing a sense of clarity and a fresh smell to the air around you, with the old and dusty house behind you. You otherwise hear, see, and some of you, being pushed off the porch, feel the light pitter-patter of the rain as it continues to fall. You prepare for your plans on your next move and what you would like to do.
Cool. Did Vinny say he's just gone for dinner?
Yes.
Oh, damn.
He's currently snacking at the back of the party.
Damn it, Vinny. I need to talk to you. How dare you? So rude.
He's eating his sandwich and he's like, give me a moment.
Oh, he's eating. Oh no, it's Kay. What's going on?
Where is Kay?
I'm gonna check on Starlight, who ought to be kind of like right dead in front of us.
Yeah, Starlight's currently quite happily just kind of under the porch, but as the rest of you are moving out, it's being pushed out a little bit into the rain and is a bit disgruntled.
Okay, right. I'm gonna reassure my noble steed.
Okay. Make me an animal handling check.
Wow, that could have gone
Excellent
spectacularly
start.
better. Well,
You step forward as Starlight dislikes the very cold rain otherwise hitting them, as Starlight kind of pushes forward, pushing you back into the rest of your friends. Vinny's sandwich is spilled all across the floor. Kay swoops in, eats it up and disappears. You don't know where.
Very good. Vinny stopped eating now.
Starlight, what's wrong with you? I attempt to go forward and calm Starlight.
Make me an animal handling check with disadvantage.
Go on, roll double natural one. You know, you've already rolled one natural one. Go for a double one.
What's
Just for good luck.
3 in a row? What's wrong with that?
Okay, that's a little better. That is an 11.
Okay. Starlight calms and stops pushing your party off the porch, but does proceed to kind of just stop, taking up a lot of space on the front porch of Bevots Manor.
It's a bit better, Starlight. We'll work with that.
So guys, what do you think your next plan's going to be? I mean, we've taken care of what we believe to be the patient zero.
Yeah. Well, either the town or head back to Trenel's Rest. Oh, hang on 1 second. I'm gonna just quickly run back in and put the book down.
Didn't they give us letters and stuff for the abbot? Of,
Yes,
what happened?
we've got to return. We've got to send those to the abbot. Yes.
Do we maybe want to see what's in them so that way, if there is something still here we need to deal with, we don't have to come back here?
We could. Yeah, I mean, there's rain outside, so yeah, probably not a bad idea to quickly have a flick through and try to at least memorize important details in case something goes wrong. I mean, they are paper documents after all.
I believe, Kat, you have those at the moment?
Yeah, I was just like, do I have them? Probably. I don't know. Lack of notes doesn't help. Okay, I'm gonna pretend like I've got them, even if I haven't. I'm just fully just going for this. Yeah, I'm gonna take them out and have a flick through the notes.
Okay. Okay, so you otherwise take a look. You flick through the notes, and instead of a note, you see what looks to be a diary with a series of dates and different things and some specific entries that have been kind of specifically chosen as to what is taking place here.
Okay.
I will begin by giving you the first one. Do you wish to read this out, or should I just put them in the group chat and then read them to you one at a time?
Hang on 1 second. Discord, open Discord. Nope, I'm going to have to do that one on my phone. Okay, hang on. I'm getting there.
Uh-huh.
Technology is great.
Yep. Do you want me to send it to you on Discord then and you try and read it?
Yes, I'm on Discord.
Okay. There is the first one.
Okay. Diary entry, the 10th of Pidded. 10th of that month. Written by Lord Bevots in his diary. It's a miracle. After 3 years of searching for a way to cure my daughter, a travelling merchant was the one who held the key. We celebrated with him before he moved on. He never gave his name, but he will always be welcome within our home. I plan to take the next week off to go on a picnic with Christine and Natalie. It will have been our first outing since Christine was 6 years old. I really hope she enjoys herself. Sorry about the aeroplane.
Oh, we didn't hear the aeroplane.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Diary entry, the 19th of Sosmith. Did I get one of that?
Yep, Sosmith, yep.
Excellent, right, I'm getting better at these. Written by Lord Bevots in his diary. Christine has fallen ill again. But this didn't seem to be due to going outdoors. I believe she may have caught a strain of mana fever. However, it is progressing quickly. I've gathered the usual medicine for it and have called the physician from town just to be sure. As I do worry for her, she currently doesn't wear the circlet. Okay, she doesn't wear the circlet. Okay, and I will heed the words I was told by the merchant. End of passage. Oh, hang on. Folded note attached. Here we go. My good physician, it dreads me to inform you that Christine, despite her miraculous recovery from her childhood ills, has fallen unwell again. What looks to be a violent and quick-acting case of mana fever. I would like to acquire your services in looking her over and making sure she recovers from this. I will make a donation upon your arrival of 50 gold pieces and cover the costs for any medicine. Please come at once. Signed and dated Lord Bevots, 19th of Sosmith. Dear God, how many of these entries are there? Okay.
One more after this one.
Okay. Yeah, diary. The 20th of Sosmith. Written by Lord Bevots in his diary. The medicine hasn't worked out. Christine is fading fast. I don't think she has mana fever, and the physician still hasn't arrived, despite my urgency. If he isn't here by tomorrow, I'll be placing the circlet back on her head to hopefully protect her for the time being. Natalie is one of the maids.
Natalie
and one of the maids has also caught whatever this is. I hope we can all pull through this one. Hang on. So I hope we can all pull through this once the physician arrives. Well, here we go. The last entry. Diary, 24th of Sosmith. Written by Lord Bevots in his diary. I am broken. Natalie has passed on. I have had many of staff while I find myself. Yeah, I have had many staff.
As have many of my staff.
Oh, yep, cool. While I find myself just strong enough to bury her, while Christine is still alive, her body is frail and stuck. I fear I did this to her. I was the one who caused this by putting that circlet on to protect her. If I do not survive this, please do not forget our name and free Christine from this curse bestowed upon her. Lord Bevet, his final diary entry. That's a lot of reading. There you go.
There you go, everyone.
Oh. Well. Okay. That's interesting. So she was seemingly miraculously cured.
Cured from something, but then seems to have contracted something different, which has caused all of this. Because this isn't linked to the same thing as her childhood ills, as you said. It's something different.
Yeah.
So whether it originated from the circlet, which miraculously created the cure, or she picked something up while being out. But if that was the case, why was it only her and not the rest of her family who also went out to the same place?
Okay, so
for clarity, I was just going to say, for clarity's sake, for this, Pitted and Sosmith are a month apart.
Yeah. They're successive.
They're successive. So the first of Pitted is 1 month and 9 days before the 19th of Sosmith.
Yeah.
So
almost 4 weeks.
About 5. It would be 5 weeks and 2 days because there's 4 weeks in every month.
Gotcha. Right.
Also, welcome back, Vinny. Your sandwich has been knocked out of your hand twice. And, well, the first one was knocked out of your hand and eaten by Kay. The second one you are currently eating.
Okay. I'll be more protective of this one.
Okay, Starlight has calmed, so you're probably going to be okay.
Yeah, you're on a natural 1 and the horse butted him and then his back hit your sandwich, you dropped your sandwich and now you've got another one. Kay ate that one and he's disappeared.
Yeah.
And Romulus is just enjoying the rain.
He is. He's trying to fight it. He's winning.
Somehow.
Pure rage.
So, if I remember correctly, the circlet was steeped in this sickness, wasn't it?
Well, it was cursed and it was kind of tying her to this world from what I'm guessing, but...
Kay appears and just reaches into his bag and pulls out the circlet. Still got it.
I've put it back in your bag. I can remember what that did to your hand last time you touched it.
Fine now.
That's weird. And concerning.
Okay, we've got a couple of minutes. Do you mind if we take a stop and I'll cast... Oh, hang on. Detect magic. See if there's literally any traces of anything on it. maybe I can pick up.
Yeah.
Okay. Rightio. Then I will do that.
Okay. Take it 10 minutes. During this time, your paladin friend or Sebastian is going to take his mace and he's going to use his last charge on it to do a detect poison and disease, and you watch as the circlet lights up, along with Kay's gloves and along with most of you.
Me?
Most of the party in general.
Oh, the party. Okay, that's fine. Well, it's not, but okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, including most of him as well.
Oh.
It's like we've gone to a rave.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's not good at all.
This is something we can sort out. Some of this might wash off by the time that we get back, given it's raining. But we can always get this looked at and properly cleaned off once we get back to Trenwell's Rest.
I think we'll have to do that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing it had something to do with Christine being whatever that plague's effect was, that it may have been carried over to us. Whatever that may have been.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay.
I mean, we were all playing hide and seek with possibly the patient zero, and given the statements in the letter or the diary, I imagine that might be the case.
Oh, potentially we've all got this now.
True, but at the same time, if we can otherwise get ourselves cleaned up, we hopefully won't suffer any ill effects, although it might be stronger than normal.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Do
noted.
you think we can get the circlet cleaned up?
Quite possibly. It depends on what's tying it. If it's got a magical presence to it, it might be that the disease is clinging to the circlet itself. Or it might just be contaminated. If it is the cause, we can destroy it and hopefully something changes, but if it's not, then there's no way to tell.
If it's not the cause, then it'd probably be a good idea to learn more about it.
That's true.
Okay.
Okay. You cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
Yep.
So, Vinny, Lloyd, or Damian, is there anything you wish to do during those 10 minutes involving the house at all?
I don't think so.
I'll take that generally as a no, then.
Well, just before, I start casting, can I just talk to Vinny quick?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Vinny, you know that necklace that we found in building? I know it's nothing, but can we return it, please? I mean, he's given us a reward of gold that he had. It just feels wrong stealing something that could be an heirloom to the family.
Well,
sorry about the delay.
Welcome, Romulus. You stopped staring at the rain.
Uh-huh.
Or correction, you stop winning against your fight against the rain.
Oh, damn. Oh, no. Romulus is down.
Roll for initiative against Mother Nature. Bring it on.
Oh, no.
All right, let me get to level 16, 17 first before I start trying to take on the very concept of nature itself.
Yeah. So Vinny and Kat, you were saying?
Yeah, I think that's the decent thing to do here.
Thank you. Okay.
Right,
Then
I'll go put it back where we found it.
And I'll start casting spell.
Okay. Vinny, do you actually go put it back where it was?
Where? Remind me where exactly it was.
It was in the cell.
It was in the attic. Are you going to put it back where it was, or are you going to basically, are you pocketing it while no one's watching, or are you going to put it back in the attic?
No, I'm going to put it back.
Okay. As you go and put it back, you otherwise lay it down. You turn around and you hear kind of this like thump sound as you turn around, and you can see the box is now encasing it once again. Because if you remember, when you took it out, the box disappeared.
Yes, but now that it's back, it's reboxed.
Yep.
Interesting. Hadn't heard of something like that. That'll be something to look out for in the future then.
Head back to the rest of the party. Cat finishes casting Detect Magic ritually. As it completes, you take a look at the circlet which Kay currently holds. You can see that there are ever so faint traces of magic, but they're not coherent. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
Cool. If you could do that for me,
that's
great.
right. Yep, I call for it, and I forget I'm the one rolling for you.
It's +5.
+5, so that's 13 plus 5 is 18. You have a look. You've heard of this before, although it's extraordinarily rare for this to happen. When magical items are affected by dispel magic effects or specific areas, their magic is typically suppressed. During that time, they can be destroyed through very specific means, and it takes a lot of work to destroy a magical item that's been enchanted. In this case, the enchantment has been altered in a way that it has been destroyed. You can see that the magical effect, for whatever it may be or previously been on this circlet, has warped. And from what you can tell with that higher roll, it seems to be from the interior lining of it, where there may have been script, runes, or magical lining of some form that held the enchantment in place, has been damaged where it's been tied to the individual's head. Potentially pre or post, you have no idea what it says in the diary. But from what you can tell, the enchantment has warped and shifted, creating an entirely new enchantment, which is non-functional. This is a broken magical item and can be repaired with successful enchanting. It will take not that much material-wise, but it will be a very difficult thing to do.
Okay, so it looks like the enchantment has actually changed from its original enchantment, but I mean, it takes some time. It's going to be a lot of work, but there is a way to repair this enchantment. I mean, it obviously comes with its risks if something like this has happened from it, but also it could give an answer to how to stop it if we can recreate the enchantment.
Okay. That might be helpful.
I'm very confused.
Okay, well, do you want to come out of the rain?
No, I like it.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, so...
I've needed a shower.
Oh, no, it's a very valid point. We all need it. I mean, we're covered in stuff. So, what you're
I have
confused
been
about?
slimed by ghosts. It is most unpleasant.
I know, it's really horrible.
Also, I think a little bit of the rotting little girl got like puffed up when she fell over.
Oh.
I can still taste it.
Oh.
Like opens up mouth to the rain, starts to gargle with it.
Damian is deliberately doing that horrible grinding sound, like if you drag a chair over over the floor.
He's just got his gauntlets.
Oh my god, that's horrible!
Got his gauntlets down the front porch pillar as it just screeches as he drags his gauntlets down it.
Okay. Anyway, so what? You found a broken magical item?
Yeah, the circlet. It's got an enchantment on it, but the enchantment has changed. Now, I don't know how recent the enchantment changed. It could be because of that change what made this. I genuinely don't know. I don't know if it happened when we took the thing off, when Kay got hurt when he removed the circlet. It may have done that. But either way, theoretically, it's possible to repair it, but it'll take a lot of time to do. But yeah, it has changed, so it still has magical nature to it, but we kind of need to fix it because at the moment, as it stands, it's broken. The question is, do we want to fix it?
I assume we wouldn't have the materials on us
Oh,
now.
not here.
Good,
It's definitely
okay.
going to be something in a more
That is a decision
controlled
to make
environment.
when we get back to Trendlaw's Rest, and
believe
we
so.
can inquire with others as to what its original purpose may have been, because that'll give us a better informed decision.
Yes. So, but that's what I got from it anyway. So,
Damian says, still screeching away at the pillar in disgust.
will you stop? That's really noisy. So-
Damian looks at Cat and like, oh, okay.
So, guys, what's our
And
plan?
continues.
Are we? Oh,
He's still trying to get that out of his mind.
God. Are we going to go to the town? We need to get off this balcony or this porch because that noise is really irritating. Are we going to go to town or head back to Trendlaw's Rest? I guess we kind of now's the time to make the decision.
I think we should check out the village while we're here.
Agreed.
Could we do
How
so
long is it
quickly
till
before
nighttime?
Oh, good shout.
Infernal got very much louder.
Yeah, like the voice was so clear and
Yeah, I don't know what you
It
did.
was nice.
oddly enchanting.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize.
My
It's
bad.
fine.
This is what
My
happens when he
bad.
counts coin. He gets younger.
So, how long is it till nightfall? Go ahead and roll me a general survival check. Hey.
Yeah, that'll do.
20 on the...
Okay. Despite the
Fine.
rain, you remember when you cast aid, and you know and you've been keeping track of it thus far on how long you've got left. You know that you've got another 2 hours of aid, which means that it's about 2:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
How long did it take us to get here? I've forgotten. The 2 times we went in this direction.
You left early in the morning. You left at 8, and you came through the forest. You've been in here about an hour and a half, given you played hide and seek plus a bunch of other things.
Oh,
So
boy.
it takes
That's
you
gonna take us another
about
5 hours to get back.
Yeah, about 5 hours to get back.
Let's face it, we're
So it'll be
camping out tonight.
7:30 when we get back.
Yeah.
We're camping out next to a field that has a load of bugs that tried killing us.
Well, if we're on the other side, they will ignore us.
Hopefully, we have to get through a forest.
Just remember,
I
Damian.
don't... How far is it? The village is like right next to us, right?
Yeah.
Damian.
Yeah, the
Well,
village is probably like a 5-minute walk.
okay.
But yeah.
Romulus.
So I think if we spend less than half an hour, we should be fine.
Worst
Depends
comes to
what we
worst,
find.
could see if we could find housing
Yeah.
within the village.
Okay.
So logical.
Let's try and keep it
sounds
under
logic.
half an hour. if
And
possible.
Damian, if we do get attacked by the mana beetles, you remember, you don't have to outrun the beetles. You just have to outrun everyone else.
Ah, yes, me on horseback in the forest. That will work perfectly.
That's fine. I'll be fine.
I mean,
Who are you?
objectively, you are always on horseback.
True, I could just run along the road, gallop along the road at really fast
Technically,
pace.
is the horseback.
I am.
You are the horseback, my dear.
I am the horseback.
Are we talking about Cat or Damian at this point?
We're talking about cats.
Okay.
Damian has a horse, but does not
Got it,
inherently have
got it.
a horseback.
Just making sure. So we're going to the small village?
Yes, let's
are
check out
going
the
to the
village, but
village.
let's try and keep it.
Sharpish.
Sure.
Am I correct in thinking we're on a porch currently?
Currently,
Yes.
yes.
Well, you're not.
And
In
I'm
the
still
garden.
probably
Yeah, you
grinding my gauntlets against the pillars holding it up.
At this point,
Honestly,
what's your AC?
9?
Your AC's 9. Should be 19.
No, mine.
Yes,
as in-
yours.
At the moment, it's 21.
What is Starlight's to hit?
Oh, good grief. To hit.
Yes.
It's actually plus 20.
can I give Starlight the help action here?
We'll get to that.
Look.
Starlight should have a hooves attack.
Oh, +6 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits on a 21. What's the damage?
Oh, let's go.
2d6.
2d6 +4 bludgeoning damage. Reach 5 foot.
You take 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
Perfect. That's what I needed to know.
Starlight, from the natural one earlier, plus making a very loud screeching noise against a pillar, Starlight just kind of lifts hooves and smacks into your armor, pushing and kicking you back, as Starlight begins panicking in this space, and will be making an attack against another random player unless someone calms them down.
My animal handling sucks. Please don't leave it to me.
I'm probably wounded on the floor.
Okay,
Actually, I'm bloodied on the floor.
Kay's going to give it a go, because he's not here, and it's certainly something Kay would do.
Can I aid him?
Maybe.
Should I just roll my...
Yeah, just roll on your own. We'll say that multiple people are doing this.
Okay.
Okay.
18 for me.
18? Okay, you beat Sudz. You rolled a 12 plus something. 12 plus 2, yeah. So between the two of you, as you kind of see this happen and Damian's kind of pushed back and kicked in the chest, you see this happening and Kay kind of jumps on the back of Starlight and kind of just moves up to where Starlight is, and you kind of grab the reins and kind of pull close and begin petting the snout as Kay just begins stroking the mane of... Is it a mane?
Yeah.
Yeah. Stroking the mane of Starlight, and the two of you manage to successfully calm Starlight down.
Jesus, Damian, are you okay?
No, but, you know, things happen. I will keep this
What
PG.
did you do to Starlight?
Yeah, that's a really annoying noise. Like, it was getting to me, so it probably got to her. Also, where are your apples now? Huh? That's right.
Damian stands up and just starts walking towards the village.
You're gonna leave us with us here.
Given other people have taken care of Starlight and he's just been kicked in the chest by him, he's going to leave him there because at least knows he'll be safe there in theory. So, no, you guys deal with it. I'm just going to walk off. I feel bullied.
Alright, I'll take the reins on Starlight and take her with me.
Okay. Sebastian otherwise catches up. You alright? Damian? You alright?
I'll be okay once we're back at Trenlaw's Rest.
Yeah. Don't overexert yourself.
I'll try my best not to. I don't feel overly great at this point. But...
Are we talking physically or emotionally?
Both.
Okay. I wouldn't recommend annoying your friends after a big fight like that. You were successful. We don't know what's ahead. And animals are hard to... Animals aren't the easiest to deal with. That's why none of us at the Plague Knights use them. But anyway.
Curious.
I'll leave you to repair any problems that may be there with your little group.
Okay.
He always nods and kind of falls back, the rest of the party gathering together and heading towards the town. I would like someone to make me... 2 people to make me perception checks, please.
Damian's towards the front.
Perception, you said?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Damian, if you want to make one. And somebody else want to make one?
Yeah, I can, I guess.
Okay. Lloyd and Damian.
The old seeing eye.
The old seeing eye. Yep.
I mean, I expect thematically to roll low just because Damian's probably thinking about so many different things right now.
We'll see.
The perception's going to be terrible, I would expect.
We'll see.
It's a 9.
It's a 9?
Mine is a 20.
Okay. Yeah. With the 9, the rain's a bit obscuring, and the low mist around here isn't helping, but you can still make out the vague shape of the buildings, the well in the centre, the areas where they seem to have stored carts. You can see old equipment, or what looks to be pickaxes, along with shovels and pitchforks and other buckets just in place around this place. They don't look like they're being used anytime soon. They just seem to be lying around. You can see a large number of plants growing across one of the buildings to one side, kind of the large, almost blue-leafed plants. And you can see just the area around seems to very much reminisce being abandoned. With the 20 from your point there, Lloyd, you pick out a few extra details. 1, several of the windows are broken. 2, there are some bodies around the place which are completely eaten off skeletons.
Really,
They
what?
are eaten off, so picked clean skeletons.
Aha.
Both humanoid and animal. And most of all, you do note where Damian seems to be looking towards one of the buildings, which has these kind of large blue leaves of something sticking out. With the perception, you remember them earlier from being near the overgrown fields where you were attacked by mana beetles. And you instinctively kind of make the connection that there must be crystals nearby, which could mean mana beetles.
Fuck.
People, be
I
careful
guess.
of more mana beetles.
Oh, come on, really?
Damian gonna hear this.
I'll say with that perception check of a 9, you hear the party talking behind you. I'll say the choice is up to you.
I'm not sure if he actually would necessarily hear.
Oh, give me a break. How long does it take to walk here?
Damian!
Okay, now Damian
Uh,
stops and turns back
can-
around.
Can Romulus just go forward and pick up Damian and pull him back?
Oh, so you don't pick him up, but you go forward as Damian's name is called. You turn around and you see Romulus kind of jog up to you slightly.
Beetles. There may be beetles. You must avoid the beetles. Am I clear?
Right. Well, in that case, I feel more confident taming Starlight at this point.
I mean, as soon as I'm gonna stop. How long have we been since we left the porch?
About 3 minutes.
Wait, I am not moving. Detect magic lasts 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's still up.
I mean,
Right.
how are people doing? Because if this is going to be, we were thinking this would just be a quick look around to confirm what was going on here. If this is going to be dangerous, we could wait until the beetles have been dealt with.
Damian was good. Then he
Yeah,
decided to
definitely,
annoy his own horse.
Have we got any non-magical people? Like any?
Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear. What did you say? Infernal?
Oh, that wasn't talking. Sorry,
Okay.
talking to someone else.
Have we got any like non-magical or people that've got minimal magical stuff that could probably scout ahead a little bit?
Romulus, maybe Vinny?
K raises his hand.
Okay. Okay. Kay, do you want to? I mean, you've got very high stealth as well. Do you want to just sneak in and see what's going on?
Sure.
Report back to us.
Sure.
Is everyone all right with this before he goes?
Yeah.
Okay. Try and stay within sight if possible, or at least keep letting us know that you're okay.
He nods. Okay.
Okay. We'll keep an eye out.
His stealth was an 11 total. As you watch as he kind of, as he moves closer to the building, kind of eking closer, you see he sees the leaves. He kind of bounds underneath one, kind of lifts the leaf slightly, has a look around, sees an open door in front of him. So he rolls to investigate and pick the lock, or using his thieves' tools. Okay. You watch as he kind of takes his, or otherwise goes up to the lock, gives it a little look, and pushes the door. As it opens, he looks inside. Let's give a perception check. Okay. He looks inside before he comes back. Didn't see anything.
Okay then. Right. Well, I mean, he's nothing. What was in the house? Like, were there any bodies or?
It was mostly just empty. I saw a few crystals, but no beetles.
Crystals? Or like natural crystals or?
Chunks.
Oh. Okay. I'm not too fond of this idea of going into this town. Potentially there could be bugs in that crystal. What do you lot think? I'm not too sure if I want to engage in an encounter with pretty depleted right now.
We can always leave, and I will probably be sending a team of Plague Knights up here once things in town cool off, just to make sure everything's cleansed or dying off. We don't want anybody else going there.
That much is true. At least now that we've done a bit of scouting, they'll be more prepared for what potentially is here.
True. And if it's mana beetles we're dealing with, that'll be more the local guards problem. The Flame Keepers and the Knights of Paloon. But, I mean, with the plague still potentially going, we'll have to deal with it.
I have returned.
Okay.
I mean, it looks like it's been abandoned for a while in here, right?
Yes, it does. By the looks of it, the buildings that are mostly made of wood with kind of glass painting and shutters, it looks like these have been abandoned for a little while. Given the time that's passed from what you guys understand of the whole, it's currently the first day of Galligan, which is 2 months, which is about 5 weeks from when that last letter was put in the diary of Lord Bevots, from Lord Bevots.
Mm-hmm.
Suggests that this place has been abandoned for about the same time.
Okay. Well, I don't think... I mean, we've got to pick and choose our fights, and I feel that this potentially is a fight that isn't going to end well. Shall we start heading back, and at least we can do one thing at a time, try and help with all the patients and solve this?
Yeah, we've still got to sneak past the other field anyway, so having two
That's
potential
true.
battles against mana beetles, I don't like that idea. I don't like the idea of one, but definitely not two.
I mean, nothing's gone on in that town for a while, so anything that is there has been waiting a while. Can probably wait a few days longer.
Mm-hmm.
And it would probably be quite hungry if there's anything waiting for us.
In case Kay didn't see any sign of anything going on currently, so it's just a question of close.
Okay. Right, then shall we head back?
I think we should head back to Trendlor's Rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's start our journey back then.
Okay. You make your way back. Which way are you going?
Probably the same way we arrived, so I dare say, what was it, 30 foot into the forest?
Yep. Okay.
Like that, yeah.
So, in which case, I would like... let's see. Someone was always keeping watch.
I know I did investigations.
You did investigations to check the area.
I think I assisted with the whole
Survival.
Through there.
Yeah, so I'll
I
say...
think I was doing the perception checks.
Okay,
Yeah, I think you were.
So we'll go with survival from Romulus, perception from Lloyd. Cat will make investigation checks. Vinny, is there anything you'd like to do to try and assist with this sort of stuff? And Damian, you too?
Are we rolling now? Or...
Oh yeah, you roll now, because I'll just have other people double up the roll, or if they want to do anything else.
I am more
One
than
roll for me, please.
Yep. That was a 3 on your part for the investigation.
I'm happy
5.
to... I'll assist the investigation then.
Okay, so go ahead and roll me a separate check. And Vinny?
There's not a huge amount I can do except help with the perception, if that's possible.
Okay,
Yes,
so go...
This is just one while we're on the way back, right?
Yeah, this is just on the way back. There's a general thing. So I'll say go ahead and roll your own perception check, and I will roll for Sebastian to help with the survival.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sebastian didn't do too badly. That's 14 on his part. Okay. So, what did you get, Romulus, for your survival?
16.
16? Okay. Easy enough. You otherwise navigate your way through the forest fairly easily. Again, despite the rain, despite everything, a distinct lack of life outside of plants. No birds, no worms or insects flying around. Nothing.
Worms flying around? What hellscape do we live in?
Oh no.
There's a reason it's a custom world. It gets even worse when you've got flying purple worms going around.
Oh
no.
boy.
I can't wait
I
to
don't
fight
want to
one
be
of
in
them.
that world.
Just start playing the Cat and Mario theme tune as one of them just zooms along the sky eating everything.
It's gonna be great.
So,
Can't wait.
perception checks. Vinny and Lloyd.
11.
7.
Okay, the two of you keeping your eyes, or you try and keep the eyes out as best you can. Nothing that you particularly perceive. The heavy or the light rain otherwise does obscure a little bit. The mists otherwise rolling in. You keep an eye and ear out, but there's not really anything to keep an eye and ear out for. And investigations?
19.
8.
19 and 8. Damian, as you are heading back, I'll say that you're on the back of Starlight for this. You otherwise are keeping... you're keeping a lookout, investigating the area just to make sure there's no like animal tracks, to just keep an eye out for anything suspicious. As you're heading back, you wander back and you're noticing something rather odd. As you kind of take a few steps forward, there's a moment when you stop, you see something out of the corner of your eye move, and as you look up, you see kind of rain falling from everything around, and as you look up, you can see what looks to be some form of a deer in the branches above. But you see that the deer has its main torso torn open, the skin of it ripped out, the organs splayed across the surface of the branch itself. You can see vines that have seemingly been wrapped around it. You can see distinct claw marks on the branch itself, and blood dripping down. This is the first real life that you've seen in the forest. And it's dead.
Has he pointed this out to us?
With me, I've got to make that decision. I'm just currently writing it up because that's
Oh,
terrifying.
nice.
Yeah, it's definitely been opened and partially eaten, you would guess, given the missing pieces. And as you do look around, you can see that where there would be blood on the leaf litter below, it blends in remarkably well with the otherwise leaf coloration here. With kind of the lighter
Is that as
oranges
in
and
the
yellows.
blood is very brown and green, or as in
The blood
face
is
very
the
red?
blood dries and becomes darker, same as like the orange and red leaf litter here, as it is beginning to hit early autumn now.
Is that normal?
For the leaves to be that colour.
For the leaves to be that color, to the blood to dry to specifically that rough shade. I mean, I know it goes to a sort of brown, but I just want to like make sure that it's...
I'll say, Damian, go ahead and make me a medicine check, unless you're pointing this out to the rest of the party.
I'm not immediately pointing it out. I'll sort of do a medicine check. Yeah,
do a
it's
medicine
good
check.
idea.
Yeah.
I think that's an 8.
Yep.
It's an 8.
That'll be fine. The exact age of how old this corpse may be, you don't know, but it's certainly not fresh. The smell is masked by the rain quite nicely, and whatever decaying smell there may have been has since been washed away. But you can begin to see the signs of fresh maggots now setting in, meaning that this has been here at the very least 5-6 days.
Guys, I think we might want to hurry the pace up a little because there's something rather horrible that I don't think everybody wants to see above us, which is sort of decaying. Been there a little while, but
Of course. He
take
said
a look
something
up.
above us. Instantly look up.
Yeah.
Okay. You will look up. I will say, Cat, it takes you a little bit to see, given your perception, but everybody else picks up on this fairly quickly, especially Kay. As you see otherwise torn open and partially left on a branch, wrapped up slightly in vines, like tying it in place, to stop it from falling off, is the corpse of a deer. Harlan, or
Yeah.
Romulus, please go ahead and make me a nature check, as you're probably the only person who would have come across these before.
I mean, I as Harlan, think I know exactly what this is.
Yes.
Oh,
Probably so, but yeah.
Do we have a book when we first signed up to thing with details of animals?
Certain
creatures.
19 plus whatever.
19, this is the work of harpies. You've seen this before.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's harpies. That is harpies.
Yeah. Harpies, I will say, given the high nature check and your experience with harpies before, they do come down from the mountains, typically when they're starved. This and the lack of creatures around here suggests that the harpies have been starved for quite some time, meaning their home may have been displaced. But you can also tell quite happily this is the work of not one harpy. Harpies tend to come in packs, and in some cases in a full patriarchy or matriarchy, depending on the region that they thrive from, and if they have magical capability amongst their clan.
Are you
I
kidding
relay
me?
this to the party.
Harpies?
Yes, we've got a set of hungry harpies here, and we should probably get the fuck a move on.
Yeah, in the short term, we should probably try and stay away from them. In the long term, I mean, when a gang starts moving territories, the first question you want to ask is what's happened in their old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, good, lovely, excellent question to ask. We should get moving. They may not have been here recently, but they might come back.
Okay.
That tends to be what they'll do, I would say, with the nature check. You know that what they'll do is they'll typically grab their prey, eat part of it, leave it to rot so that it becomes more fluid, and then they'll drink that and give it to their young.
Wow.
Oh, that's yummy.
Oh,
Let's go.
harpies are the fucking worst. I thought you were bad being part horse, but no, they're the fucking worst.
Oh, coming from you. I'm
Look, I know I'm a moo cow. Don't think I don't.
just that was really mean to say.
I'm just kind of fucking with you. But yes, we should probably hurry up.
I'll do that with children. Jesus.
Kay is going to stealth, not very well. As you do note, as you are leaving, a Kay climbing the tree. As he kind of goes up and he begins to reach into the corpse of the deer. Does anybody go to stop him? I'd say, Kat, you're the only one who doesn't notice this, given your perception.
Oh wow, let's go.
Damian isn't. Damian has noticed it and said, "Fine, if Kay wants to do
He's
that,
already on the
I'm
tree,
getting out of here."
He's already up the tree in the branch.
Yeah, well, there's no way I'm fucking getting up the tree and stopping him.
Agreed. I'm beginning to move. I'm just going.
Wait, sorry,
be
just
careful,
to confirm,
don't-
what precisely are you doing?
Oh, but Damian?
Yeah.
Damian's just like continuing and just leading Starlight on, just like, nope, I'm not dealing with that. If we've been told to go, I'm going.
Excellent. I'm very proud of you. Now, Kat, onwards.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
Kay.
go and
We're
walk
leaving
next to
Kay.
Romulus.
Do it.
Vinny, do you want to do anything?
They'll recognize you as the youngest and weakest of the bunch. They'll pick you up like a bit of stray popcorned chicken.
What, me?
Mm.
I'm probably the heaviest here.
Won't matter to harpies.
This is true.
No one does Kat actually know what harpy is?
I'd say go ahead and roll me a nature check for this. What's your nature?
Slutty bird.
Mine is +5.
+5.
I mean, I have been to the mountains.
8. So 13. I'll say you've heard of them. You've never been in mountains that contain them.
Okay.
But I'd say you've heard of deeds of various mages and warriors through the time who have had to deal with harpies when they've attacked them in groups. And there's like times when you've passed through with family and you've heard of like adventurers going like, oh, and I took on a band of 7 harpies once. And then one adventurer goes, well, I took on a band of 9. And it just kind of keeps rising. And it's like, yeah, harpies are the rats of harpies are the rats of the bigger world.
The giant rats of the sky.
Yeah, the
Okay.
giant rats of the sky. They're
giant
not
rats of the
typically a
sky.
big deal, but in packs, the more of them there are, the more dangerous they can get very quickly.
See, now, all Cat is visioning now are just rats with massive claws and huge fangs. It's like, flying rats. Let's go. I don't want to fight any flying rats.
Hey, how good are their noses? Are they any good at tracking?
I mean,
That
they
is
killed a deer.
That is a good question. I'm going to go and look up now for you. Given Romulus's nature
I'm
check,
mostly
I'll-
directing this question to Romulus.
I'll say, Romulus, you know that they don't typically track via smell, they track via seeing, but they aren't amazing creatures when it comes to tracking down prey. Typically, they will just fly around until they find something and then attack it. So, yeah. Harpies are also slightly different in my world to how they are in D&D's traditional lore.
Out of curiosity,
That's
maybe
fair.
the problem in the village wasn't bugs. If the corpses were picked clean,
Yeah, that could be these things.
I mean, bear in mind, when we found that bird, the carcass wasn't picked clean.
Yeah.
I mean, the mana beetles lived in the crystals. I don't know if if that's what they consume, but I'm not too sure if they eat.
But you must remember there were
Biomass?
crystals at the there.
Yeah, it's true, but I'm not too sure. Chris, would I know? Because I know about mana beetles.
Mm-hmm.
Would I know what their diet consists of? Do they eat biomass or do they eat crystal?
They eat a slight mixture of both. Tends to be that what they'll do is they'll feed their... Mana beetles are traditionally vegetarian and they eat minerals. I don't know if there's a term for that, Jamie, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
So...
Geologist?
yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they
Okay.
tend to eat a mixture of crystals, which give them their magical energy and allow them to breed and stimulates their growth, while the vegetation that grows around crystals in a very rapid succession, like the blue leaf plants that you've seen, tends to be what feeds off of them. That doesn't stop them from attacking things that are made of flesh, but
Just they're less likely to.
they're
consume
just
it
less
either.
likely to eat it. Doesn't mean they
Okay.
can't, doesn't mean they won't. If they were given desperate measure, they would. Or if there's enough of
Okay.
it and it's a viable food source, then they might, but it's not traditional behaviour.
And this forest is looking alive and.
Oh, very much so. The forest
Okay.
seems to be thriving. There's just a very big lack of creatures.
Okay. So, from what I can gather, I think it might be the harpies that have taken out or destroyed that town. Because the mana beetles prefer to eat plant matter and crystals rather than meat. And it's not like there's a shortage of plant mass or crystal. Which would also explain why there's like damage to the town, i.e. via, the smashed windows and stuff like that. So,
That does make more sense.
I mean, I don't imagine the bugs picking up stones and start smashing up windows.
To be fair, it could be a combined. You're just looking at this as simple one. There is one cause of things. Perhaps it is more of a combination.
True.
Maybe the illness got some people. Maybe the beetles killed others, and maybe the harpies then ravaged everything else after the fact.
It is possible, but I'm still going with the harpies have been present at that place.
And maybe a random semi-sentient rhino came out of the fucking floorboards and ate them all before regurgitating their bones.
What? What's this creature? I'm gonna get my notebook out. What do you
I think
mean?
you've been reading
a
too many fantasy
A
novels.
sentient. Starts writing down.
Semi-sentient, thank you.
Semi-sentient rhino erupting from floorboards and regurgitating. What's this rhino called? Is it? What species is this?
Damian's
Made
gritting
up.
his,
The made
Damian's
up
gritting his
species.
teeth currently.
Well, obviously it dissolves. As I said, it dissolves the flesh from their bones and then spits them out. It is a limenosus.
Limenosus. Sweet. Right, hang
Romulus,
on.
I thought we were meant to be just like getting out of here quickly.
Oh, you're walking and
Nice.
I
talking.
assume we're walking while we're
Yeah,
talking.
You're
Oh,
walking and talking. I can't bother to have you guys doing this. Oh, and we have a Sudz here. Hooray!
Yes, and a Vinny needs to react to K.
Sudz, hello.
Sentient.
Sudz. Hello.
He's just clicking as he's
Yeah,
trying to speak.
it's clicking
There
sound.
is
It's
no
not actually.
Sudz.
It was the wrong way around. Okay.
Aha!
Ah.
Yeah.
Hello, Sudz. So Sudz, here's what's
Yes.
happened. You went to the village, saw lots of dead people, crystals, didn't see much else, left. Went back to the party. The party went through the forest, found a dead deer in a tree. It was mostly moulding. You have just snagged a piece of it and pocketed it, and you've just caught up with the party as you're making your way back to Trenel's Rest.
And hearing about a tasty morsel called a rhino.
Oh no, this is gonna be great. I can't wait to report this back to the head abbot.
What is a rhino?
It's not. It's a limenosus.
But he said it was a rhino.
No, it's a limenosus. It is. It's a semi-sentient rhino that rots on floorboards.
To be entirely clear, it is a rhinoceros, at least in form, but it is in fact made of a combination of gelatin and lime, or lye. You may also have heard it referred to as.
Wait, is that the strange green tropical fruit we sometimes see in Paloon?
No, that's lime, not lime.
Okay, right,
Is
cool.
it actually edible? You know what?
Probably.
I'll figure
Anything
that
is
out.
edible at least once.
This is great. Let's go.
Oh, like, cover your ears. You're not edible.
Actually, yes, it is. It is very tasty.
What?
I
Yeah.
won't push Damian after what's happened up to now.
And that's been today's episode of Romulus fucking with Cat a bit. Just for
Yeah,
no
no.
reason.
It's gonna be great because I'm gonna end up like believing this because everything you say I take as gospel truth. So I'm gonna be reporting this back to the head abbot in regards to my theories of what's happened to this town.
Hey.
Okay, can I do an insight check to see whether I think Cat will cotton on to the fact that I'm.
Oh, you know that she will. There's no insight check needed for that.
Oh, God.
And Kay, please go ahead and roll me a d8, please. Two. Okay. Thank you. Carry on.
Well, that's suspicious.
I know why that's.
Don't
Nah.
be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
It's fine. It was a low roll, so it's only 24 harpies that we have to fight.
Yes, 2d6 worth of harpies. Hey, low
excellent.
roll. Why can I low roll there? No, I will say with that too, you otherwise continue on your way back to Trenel's Rest and make it back as it begins to hit nightfall at about 7:45. Aid has ended, so anybody above your maximum health threshold, please drop it back down to its normal. As you begin to arrive back at Trenel's Rest, the rain still keeping up, a light mist now coming in as the sun is not able to burn up anything in particular, and the cloud cover is overcast as you arrive. Sebastian goes up to the gate and you are all let through, and you head in. Where is your first calling point?
Probably the abbots would be a good idea. I mean, we're covered in all of this stuff.
Thorough cleansing.
Well, my
Perhaps
place
some
would almost
mouthwash.
certainly be where the Plague Knight Commander is.
Sebastian,
I'll go with Damian.
Yeah.
What would be our best bet for getting to see the abbot, plague knight captain, whatever, everything, and getting properly disinfected?
She'll be awake at the moment. If we wanted to head over there and get you all cleaned up, I can otherwise have that arranged fairly easily.
I think that would be a
Depends
good
on
idea.
depends on if you're wanting to speak to the head abbot or Tracy, because head abbot does the night shifts and Tracy does the day shifts. So if
I
you're
think as
looking
long
to,
as someone goes, they were probably good.
I think it would be better to try and speak to the head abbot, I guess.
in which case we can go and get you all cleaned up first, just to make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, that sounds a good idea.
Yes. I
Do
would
you
rather
all
not.
want deep cleans, or are you looking to get just?
Oh,
So-
fuck me up.
We'll get sensory overlooks just to make sure that you're otherwise okay in general, but then I'll arrange to get deep cleans if needed.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good idea.
And we'll also pass off these. I know that they said to give them to the head abbot, but it might be worth letting the commander look over the letters, just so that way she knows what's going on. She stays informed. I could tell her, but I might get details wrong rather than just giving her
No, we
hard
can
copies.
give
Yeah.
them to her while we're getting clean.
No,
Yeah.
no
I
harm
need to
having a
I
read.
need to see her anyway, so
As long as we ensure
Sounds
that
good.
they do get to the abbot.
Of course, that should be fine. Yeah. Okay.
Very well.
You're led
Let
through
us
town.
get deep cleaned.
You're led through
Or
town to
not.
the tents. You can hear the sound of the light pitter-patter of the rain on the tent, the otherwise slick stone walkway, the thoroughfare. You head down the road. It's, again, very quiet, but you are noting that there are still the regular patrols, the Plague Knights, and the Flame Keepers as they wander around. You otherwise take stock of this. As you otherwise arrive at the tent, you see Sebastian otherwise speak to the commander or one of the captains rather, before otherwise coming back and just looking at the room. The commander will see you. Just head into her tent and begin discussing what you need to. And I'll be going and getting some sensors just to make sure that you're all checked over properly and thoroughly.
would you not prefer us to be checked first before we see your commander?
She'll be fine. She's much like you.
Of course.
Yes,
That makes sense.
much like most of us. We're more resilient against disease than most
These
people.
mere mortals.
I wouldn't say that. We're resilient as people. We're used to this, so she will be unaffected. Do not worry.
Right now.
Because paladins get immunity to disease at level 3. It's really good.
That does seem like a useful ability to have in this current situation.
I know, right?
I
It's
mean,
as if I
I'm
had
getting,
to use disease as my opening one, so I could use it.
and I'm getting checked basically
I
for
suppose you
the
could also have an extremely overpowered monk.
the
That's true.
giggles.
You're getting checked over so you can be cleaned.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
getting my package checked and all that as well.
Whoa.
You
your
know what I'm
package?
talking
Whoa,
about.
whoa, whoa.
Well.
What package are you referring to, sorry?
We're sorry, your fertility is not that good.
Hold on, Damian. What were you referring to?
I am talking about the from the one from Isaac Westwind.
Ah, yes, of course.
Oh, that one, yes. Yeah. Okay.
I'm making sure that's clean.
Yep. No, that makes sense. Okay. You head inside the tent, and tent flaps are otherwise pulled aside, and you are led inside out of the rain. You are otherwise handed towels to otherwise deal with the rainy weather, or from the rainy weather rather. As you see the captain otherwise standing there looking over you all for the moment, as he kind of steps back, his rebreather just pulsing for a moment, as he otherwise kind of looks, nods at the captain, and then steps out of the tent. So, I hear from Sebastian that you've succeeded.
Indeed.
Yes.
We have returned mostly whole.
Then it looks as though I owe some of you various bits and pieces. More specifically, you, Damian.
Why
would
does
you-
Damian get stuff and we don't?
I mean, I did invite you all to come here to have a discussion on what you might want, but apparently most of you were sleeping, so it is just him who I have dealt with. And
Okay.
Vinny mentioned that it was charity work, so...
Would you like to hear what we have found first, Commander?
Sebastian gave me a light rundown of what's happened. I trust that... He said that the matter has been dealt with, but there are further matters that potentially could need to be dealt with in a longer period of time. But they aren't necessarily all our problems, so... And I doubt that if you try... And I doubt that you'll be able to use the information if I don't give you a pass out of the city.
This is very true too.
So, as agreed, I'll tell you what I know first. Your quarry that you are looking for has otherwise headed south of here. This means he is either going to be heading to the Flameguard Garrison or to Zaker's Crossing. If he's looking to hide, Zaker's Crossing is my bet.
Yes, I would be surprised if he tried hiding amongst the Flamekeepers, especially as a... Yes.
Especially Flameguard Garrison, given the reliquary knights that reside there. They have probably heard of what is occurring, or at the very least they will do soon. And if he's then in Maruk, he will be pinned in, which should be an easy quarry for you to hunt, so you can hope that he takes that way. But, given that's probably not the case, that is the information I have to offer. He otherwise didn't pass through town, he went around. This was about 5 days ago.
Right.
A few days before you arrived, he'd been and gone. He was on horseback.
Quite quickly across country. Across rough country.
He also had one other individual with him?
I am aware that he has got a companion.
Yes. He did, however, from what I understand, buy additional horses while he was in the camp outside.
Oh, he visited the camp outside the city?
Yes. He otherwise dropped in and bought, from what our report says, 2 additional horses. So it's possible he's meeting up with some more friends.
Right, okay. That complicates things, but it's good information to know, thank you.
Now, on to the business at hand. Your group in question has information regarding this? On what happened at Bevots Manor?
Indeed.
Oh. Yes. Okay. Okay. I don't have much to go. So we managed to, when we arrived, we met Christine. She was in the garden, and there were several spirits, ghosts, wandering around the mansion.
Do we know how to refer to them?
Ghosts would be the more accurate claim.
Right, okay. So there's several
spirits
ghosts.
is still correct.
Several spirits of ghosts wandering around the mansion. It seemed that each of them had a personal agenda or goal to achieve before they could move on into the afterlife happily. I believe we managed to get most of them to move on, except for 2, which we... Were they in the manor, or were they just the 2 that had gone back to the town? Anyone that's got notes, because...
They went back to the little village thingy outside the mansion.
Okay, so we cleared the mansion completely then, of all. Right, okay.
Yes.
So we cleared the mansion. Everyone has managed to move on, passed on. Some of them were requests to bury bodies or see people. Anyway, that's all done. The Bevots family are all buried in the garden, alongside each other. Off the top of my head, what's that? We think we may have linked this, potentially, Longball, to this circlet. I mean, have we given her the notes already?
I'd say you've handed them. If you want to, you can say you would have handed the notes over, and she's just been like reading through them while listening to you.
So as she's perusing through them, so we've got the circlet, which, as it says in the notes, they got from a travelling merchant.
May I see the circlet?
Yes, that's fine. What I can give you on the circlet, it is covered in this disease and stuff. And from a magical perspective, it is enchanted, but the enchantment is warped to the point where it is broken.
Yes.
So it's currently...
I was going to say, for reference K, at the beginning of the session while you
don't have it?
No, you still have it. It's just that the party examined the circlet more. So you took it out and otherwise held it and it was fine.
Did it? Okay, it didn't hurt me? Good.
No, it didn't hurt at all. You otherwise took it out and it didn't seem to hurt at all.
Alright, while Kat's talking, I'll be taking it out then.
Okay.
So the thing is that we found is the circlet, as you said, is broken. We don't know when the enchantment was broken, whether that was when Kay lifted the circlet off of Christine's head or if it was before. Either way...
I think it was after I did, because it hurt taking off her head.
Yeah, that's the theory. Either way, we can rebuild the enchantment. It will take some time.
We can
rebuild
it.
It's possible.
Make it stronger.
So if we wanted to, we could rebuild it and then use that to kind of pull it apart and understand what the enchantment was. We believe this is tied to it.
Just a moment. Captain, you watch as the door is otherwise opened once again, or the flaps are opened once again as the otherwise the large half-giant captain just kind of steps in, wanders up. Could you give this a look once over for me, please? He otherwise nods and you watch as he reaches out a hand for the circlet.
I give it to him, I guess?
Okay. You pass it to him. You watch his eyes flash momentarily as he otherwise looks it over, holds it up for a moment in place before kind of placing it down on the back into your palm. Before he turns to her, doesn't say a word, and then walks out of the room. So it seems that this circlet is as you said. It helped protect against disease, and now it's been warped.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a master of magic, but my captain has informed me that rebuilding the circlet shouldn't hold any negative effects. It should be fairly safe as far as that can go.
Okay. Well, that's
provided it's cleaned up, of course.
Yes, obviously. In regards to the town, I'm just giving a brief rundown because it's a trust thing. In regards to the town, we didn't go too far into it because we weren't too sure. There were bodies there, but there also looked to be some degree of damage, i.e. smashed windows and things. So we're not too sure if there was a conflict that happened, what had actually happened. There was crystals that Kay had seen in the buildings, which could lead back to the mana insects or mana beetles. Also, on the journey back, we found evidence of potential harpy attacks.
Harpies don't come this far east from the mountain ranges.
That's what we were discussing, unless the food back where they originally were has been interrupted, which would explain why there was no life in the forest if they've hunted it to the point of nothingness.
Interesting. Originally,
Romulus
when Sebastian
did
had
have
mentioned it.
Sorry, Romulus had an alternative theory.
Oh yeah, there was also the you know, I'm just going to do this because I can. The Lime Narcissus. If you need any details on this, Romulus is more than willing to give them.
No. Cat, no. I didn't realize I was muted. No, Cat, that was a joke. I was teasing you. I'm sorry.
Romulus, please explain this Lime-Narcissus to me.
Okay, first of all, it's called a Lime-Narcissus.
Lime-Narcissus. My apologies.
And It is a mixture of the substance known as lime and a similar substance to a gelatinous cube. It is capable of passing through extremely fine holes, such as the cracks within a floorboards, and it has the ability to consume and dissolve the flesh and other soft matters of a corpse before ejecting the bones. And yes, I entirely made it up. I was just teasing my charge.
I see.
Well,
The actual belief was that perhaps it was a combination of the mana beetles and the harpies which had led to the desolation of the village.
I understand. Very well. She kind of pauses for a moment, taking in the information about this Limnoceros and it not being real, but being told this entire situation.
Just so you know, there's like a real cheeky smirk on Cat's face. It's like, yeah, that's right.
Damian
Who
also,
the fuck did we trust to do this?
Damian's also smirking because he feels like he's got back to do with the apples comment.
I will end you both. You won't, and you'll never see it coming.
You're so big. How would I miss you?
Well, I think that is enough information for now.
Okay, I feel like I've really fucked up my
No,
first impressions here.
by all means.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to...
This is valuable information, thank you. The Limnoceros is certainly an interesting one to work with.
I just collapse onto my knees on the floor and cry.
Captain!
Just in the corner. Like, oh, for fuck's sake. First people thought I'm a pervert, then people thought I'm a chainer, now they think I don't know what they think anymore.
You hear as she calls for the captain walks in. She makes eye contact with the captain nods, and you watch as a few moments later he otherwise pulls his palm out, and you watch as an image forms in his palm. For the commander turns around and says, now describe it again for my captain for you, please. And you see what looks to be a rhinoceros shape that is mostly see-through and made of like jelly putty with like very thin bones on the inside, which you watch just warble and change as its shape moves as he's casting minor illusion.
Yeah, that's about right, except it's actually a slightly pale green. There's a bit more distinction on the horns. Seems to be a higher concentration of the dissolving effect.
Okay.
And
seems to be modifying the image.
Thank you. Interesting thing to note, less definition around the legs where it meets physical ground. It seems that it's more liquid nature, and the weight of it above means that it's harder for it to maintain definition upon the points of contact. Are you happy now?
Romulus, don't they also hunt in packs?
No, actually. They are, in fact, solo ambush predators.
Where do we are?
You okay there?
Now Kay is just muttering to himself, that looks tasty.
You watch as... yeah, you can do it. You watch as the captain otherwise looks for a moment, kind of nods at the commander, before you watch as he places one hand to his head. You watch as there's this almost pump of energy that runs from his two canisters on the back through the see-through tubes up towards the rebreather, where he otherwise breathes it in. You watch as his eyes just roll back into his head, and you watch as for a moment there's almost this warbling in the space around you as an image,
of course,
a major image you could say, of a Limnoceros appears within the room.
It has a warbling roar, if that helps.
Okay. It does a warbling roar. Would you like to give us a demonstration there, Harlan? Perfect. Ah, everything I could have asked for.
Sounds like it needs a drain cleaner.
Oh, I'm going to give Romulus a hug while he's kneeling on the floor. I'm just going to whisper in his ear.
All right. Also, Romulus, if you don't have inspiration, have it now because we put you through enough.
I do
You
have
deserve it.
inspiration, but could I offer this inspiration to Cat for doing this to me?
Fair enough. Okay.
You ass.
Okay.
You
Kay?
started it.
Yeah.
Kay, you can tell this is magical, and despite knowing what it is, you only feel a very mild headache,
Huh.
as you are a little bit of a distance away from it.
Interesting.
It seems that, I will say, you learn that illusion magic is proximity-based, depending on whether you're inside of it and whether you know it exists.
I see.
So it's actually one of the harder ones to detect, and also one of the harder ones to hurt you.
This is great.
Okay.
Okay.
I have question.
By all means.
I don't know who I have to go to find specific people in town.
You might be better speaking to the head abbot, but I know some. I was going to ask if there's any way I can help the rest of you, or if there's anything that you'll be after. Sebastian's just getting some sensors to make sure that you're, or to detect you all and make sure you're all
Please never
cleaned
tell
up.
anyone about the
Oh,
Lionosis.
oh no, it's fine. We'll be using this in times when we need to distract certain monsters. This looks like a thoroughly useful thing to have at our disposal.
Ah, this is great. For me, paper or ink, really?
Paper and ink isn't really anything we carry with us.
No, I didn't think it was. It's yeah.
We
Just
can
keep people
do
alive.
incense and herbs, but we can't do paper and ink, unfortunately.
No, some incense and herbs wouldn't go amiss. Well, I've got to bring Jeff back. My parrot.
I just want to get cheese.
Right.
Back in a moment.
Cheese is doable.
I
We
have
can get
done
that.
this I have done this to save the cheese.
Cheese is doable. We'll acquire some and pass on some. And you mentioned you want to find someone?
Yes, one of the, I believe the head butler of the Bevots, his final request was to deliver package to grandchildren here.
Ah, in which case then that should certainly be doable. We'll be able to speak to the Bank of Iron to get a mail service individual sent, and we can potentially get it sent from there. But if you want it cleaned up to make sure everything is all right on our end, we can sort that for you.
Yes, that was the intention, to check and make sure it was clean before sending.
That is doable. The rest of you?
Well, having
Like breathing
recovered from my
intensifies.
emotional distress, I am What does Romulus want, Chris? I've actually genuinely forgotten.
Things to become more powerful was his general MO.
Yeah. I have need of. I need to become stronger. I don't mind in what form this strength takes, but I need to be strong enough to protect others and the things I own. Is there any assistance you could perhaps provide in this? Either some place that might be helpful to me in gaining assistance, or in growing, become more powerful, or do you perhaps have any suggestions or items that could be useful for this?
Depending on what you're looking to do, if you're looking anywhere to acquire magical items, I would recommend Zeta's Crossing is usually a good hotbed for trade. Otherwise, heading to Maruk, where you will be able to find one of the magical emporiums there. Otherwise, the only other thing that I could recommend is if you wanted to, it would be a little bit of a journey, but if you ever find yourself going towards our keep, you're more than welcome to drop by, and one of our tutors can teach you some fighting techniques, if you will.
How where would your nearest keep be?
Our nearest keep is just off of Lovato Hills. Once you find a small town known as Drail's Byway, you can go northeast from there. You'll eventually reach what looks to be some old towers. Once you do, the keep is just beyond. It is known as Rel. That information alone should be enough to let you in.
All right.
Rel is spelt Y-R-Y-E-L, for note. It's about a 4 or 5 day travel from here, and you will be travelling through the wilds to get to the keep. There is no dedicated path, per se.
Was it after Krell's?
After Drail's Byway. D-R-A-I-L''S Byway. B-Y-W-A-Y. And if you look at your local map, Drail's Byway is this way. Yep. So it's somewhere in this vicinity up here.
Because I know where the Lovato Hills are. Oh, they're within.
Yeah,
oh,
Lovato Hills are there. Yeah, they're near the Lovato Hills. I'd say, given what some of you know of the Lovato Hills, they're dangerous to go through the Lovato Hills. So the fact that they've got a keep in the wilds suggests that there's a reason people don't know about it very much. If you ever find yourself going through that way, otherwise tell them that I sent you. I assume... Oh, I don't think I've ever introduced myself. I am Commander Elysia. Elysia. If you otherwise ask for my name, I'll be able to speak to you and handle things from there. And I can otherwise get one of our tutors to train you in something. Consider it payment, if you will, for this, if you wish.
Do you have magic users? Would anyone be able to teach me how to use the spell Identify?
Not with us. Actually, teach might be a bit difficult, but the captain knows the spell. Whether he'll be able to teach it, I don't believe he will. He can try. Might not go well.
It's more potentially create a spell or a scroll that I can then break apart and rebuild into my own casting style.
If you have the paper and ink, then that would be doable. Captain? He comes back in. This one is looking to learn the spell Identify, one that I believe you have just used here to examine the circlet. He just blankly looks at her. Right. That's doable. He doesn't have any paper and ink on him, but if you have some, we can...
That's fine, I have some. How much do you need?
She looks at him, then looks back. 25 gold pieces.
Of each?
Of each, yes.
Yep. No, that's fine. All right, I'll rummage around with my bag and I'll get that out. And hand it over.
Okay. You hand it over, and you watch as he kind of stops for a moment and looks back at her before she looks at you. He says, did you want it written in common, or can you interpret other languages?
Common, celestial, and giant.
You watch as he kind of just nods and then wanders over. Giant it'll be then.
Okay. Thank you. And paper.
Okay. He goes up to one corner of the room and just begins writing. So, we have Cheese, information on a quarry, being taught some fighting techniques, and the spell Identify. I believe that leaves Vinny and the one covered in eyes.
I have a name.
I have not been introduced to you yet. I just know that you
We
exist.
don't mention the eyes. Apparently, we're not supposed to poke them either.
No, but they are solid.
Noted.
Yes, we've proven they are very solid.
How do you know that, Cat?
I poked them.
We poked them.
Regardless,
I don't think you've actually made contact.
so your name would be
Lloyd.
Lloyd. Anything that
Take
you,
that, Lloyd.
anything that you would particularly like, Lloyd?
I'll get back to you on that.
A new crystal for your lamp.
We'll be here for a while, so we're not going to be going anywhere. But you're more than welcome
Yeah.
to ask while you're still in town.
Yeah.
And Vinny, you said this was charity work for you. Does that still stand?
Yes, although if you have any craftspeople among your staff, some of my equipment did get damaged while we were in the manor. If anyone would be careful of repairing that, I'd be very grateful.
Anything in particular? We do have a tailor amongst our staff for repairing garments while we're on the go.
I would need someone capable of doing rudimentary metal work.
Usually that would be done back at the keep. I can arrange for something like that to be repaired or replaced, if you will, from one of the guild's people nearby.
Yeah, that would be agreeable.
Very well. I will get something arranged then.
Is that for your scimitar?
No, it's from a lockpick, but I'm not telling her.
Oh, okay. For items, so I'm just writing it down.
Wait, what is it actually for?
No, you
my
need not
thieves'
know.
tools.
It's a secretive,
His
stealthy
Vinny's
business.
tools. Yeah.
Oh, stealthy business.
Well, I can get you in touch with one of the blacksmiths nearby.
Perfect.
Or if you're looking to just replace it, the merchant stands should be doable. Otherwise, I can just give you some gold to replace the cost of what it would be.
One second.
Yes, I need to replace my my previously diamond encrusted weapon.
I'm not replacing that.
The diamonds came off it.
The diamonds came off it. We used them in our spellcasting. Well, looks like they went to a good use then, doesn't it?
I mean, you joke. I did
We had to
briefly
use them
consider.
to defeat the Limenosus.
I did briefly consider asking for a pearl, but I figured that might have been pushing it.
Thieves' tools cost 25 gold pieces.
Oish.
A pearl, you say? I know people for that.
You're not going to eat the pearl. It'd be bad for you.
I didn't say I was gonna eat the pearl. I said I knew somebody for it.
Bung him up.
This is true.
Problem is,
And look,
you must eat everything.
just because you say I can't eat it doesn't mean Kay won't try.
This is
Oh,
true.
well, yeah.
What special ability will it give him? Oh, he can make pearls of his own when he eats sand. He doesn't get them. He just knows
gains
that
wisdom.
he needs them.
What? Then I'm starting to eat pearls.
No. Pearls of wisdom. Oh god, I have to explain it.
Yeah, you did.
It's fine.
I
So,
am clam.
you are Clam. Okay. So are you asking for 25 gold?
Do I have an idea of how much it would cost just to replace the lockpick, since I think that was the only bit that was damaged?
I'll say for the singular piece, because I'll say it was 5 gold because it needs to be a specific shape.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's not a large item that needs replacing. It just needs a bit of detail work. 5 gold would be sufficient.
I'm more than happy for that sort of thing to be paid.
Excellent.
She just goes over to one side, opens up a coffer, pulls out a few pieces, and kind of passes them to you. And that should be enough to cover the cost. And Lloyd, you'll get back to me. Very well. After the censors are done and you're all cleaned, do you all plan to stay, or will you be leaving?
About that, I'm going to look at the party. Can we stay for a week so I can try at least help cure as many people as we can before we go? This is how we know my magic cures this disease.
I'm not opposed.
I need to wait for return letters, I hope. But that should only be a couple of days, but I'll wait and see what the letters might be.
Yeah, it depends on how quickly it comes back from them.
Yeah.
Okay. So
It might also be they send it ahead of you. So
possibly, yeah. I will definitely we definitely need to talk to the head abbot regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you ask, Commander?
just so I know when I should be letting you out of the city. You'll need a 3-day clearance before I can release you for official business. Otherwise, it'll be skeptical. Given that you were released for the promise of the return, as opposed to leaving and potentially never coming back, I need to make sure that you've got a 3-day clearance.
That seems fair.
Just to be safe, given the lengths that you've gone through. I wouldn't want to release you on a 1-day clearance and then have it be spread to Flameguard Garrison, or dreaded even worse, Zaker's Crossing.
We wouldn't want to spread this any further either.
No.
Or anything else we may have picked up. That seems agreeable, yes. So we might be here 7 days, but should we come back and let you know when we...
We'll get you
in
cleaned
3 days
up.
before we intend to leave.
We'll get you cleaned up now, and then we'll get a clearance check done before you head to the abbey or the hospice, and then from there on, when you're ready, just return to us, and we'll prepare a 3-day clearance when you're ready to leave, unless you have been showing no signs of symptoms up to the point of your 3-day clearance, depending on how long you've been here. We can shorten it, perhaps.
Very well, yeah. That seems fine for me. Okay for everyone else?
Yeah, I'm good. I would like to stay so I can help as much as I can.
Yeah, same, really.
The more lives I can save, the better.
Okay. Very well. You otherwise have yourself sensor checked over and go for deep cleans on each of you. It's uneventful for most of you. If you have a first level spell available to you, Kat, to use Disguise Self
100%.
to bypass that. Go ahead and roll me your... Oh no, I rolled the Wild Magic check now.
No.
That's a 2!
Oh shit.
You're below half, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. Oh no.
Alright.
Oh.
Time to roll a D100.
I look forward to finding out how obliterated the Plague Knight's camp is.
I only apologise for...
55. Oh no!
Oh no.
You watch as there's a moment as the sensor begins to take place over Kat. The sensor happens, and then you watch as she kind of subtly casts Disguise Self, and you watch as the sensor goes back and begins to do the deep clean. Her hair just starts coming off.
Oh, what?
In large patches, and you watch as this includes her head hair and her body hair. It just sheds.
You're finally getting to see a fully bald horse. It's fucked up.
Damian might glance briefly in that direction and then suddenly realise what he's seeing. It's like, I'm not looking at Cat for a few days.
Yeah. At this point, I'd say, Kat, you are noticing you haven't noticed initially. There's only like an initial gasp, and then there's kind of further scrubbing, and you're like, okay, it's fine. They're just cleaning off. Before this kind of moment, you run your hand through your hair, and you just feel this large, heavy clump of hair in your hand.
What
off of
have
your
you
head.
done?
I didn't do anything. This usually doesn't happen when it's a deep clean. Captain!
How deep are you cleaning?
There's kind of this bounding sound as the half giant kind of comes over and just stops. I don't know what happened. I was just cleaning her and now her hair's coming out. I haven't even touched her head yet. As the other way looks over your form. There's a moment and as he makes eye contact with you, Kat, there's a flash of recognition as he just goes over and kind of places his hand on your shoulder. And you hear in your head, "Don't worry. It'll grow back eventually.
Oh.
Fucking hell.
Just make sure to not leave any behind. Otherwise it won't grow back properly and it'll mold.
Look on the bright side, cat. Now you can get eye tattoos.
Oh no!
This is really bad.
He otherwise kind of just nods and goes, I'll get one of the others to get you a blanket. Or two. And
I'll go get the tattoo machine.
And he kind of he steps back and wanders off. Notably, all of this was in your head. He didn't speak a word.
Okay. I need to make an item.
Is it a wig?
No, I need to make a something of disguised self, so I can at least. I need to hide Jesus.
If you need to hide Jesus, where are you hiding him?
No.
Oh my god.
In my belly.
Okay, this is a real nuisance. All right. Okay, I am. Well, that's not good. That's a yeah.
Okay.
No.
I'll say we'll get to that in a bit when we get to the time skip in a moment, just as for this. But I'll say he comes back with towels. You're handed towels. You can cover up. The deep clean is postponed for the time being. I'll say that what's clean is clean. They otherwise have censored you over, and they were just cleaning bigger patches. But your hair is falling out in sheds and coating the street right now.
Okay. Well, as I'm going along, I'm going to try and pick up as much as I can. I might have to fashion something for the time being.
I'm so glad that Damian is not allergic to horse hair.
Oh, yeah, if you're allergic to horsehair, you wouldn't be riding one.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, yeah, as I'm going along, I'm going to just try and grab as much as I can. Oh, Jesus, this is not good. So, hang on a second.
I'm not familiar with this deity.
I'll say you otherwise cover yourself completely with just blankets and towels, and otherwise go into a tent, or where you're allowed to go into a tent to sort yourself out.
Okay, hang on. I'm just sending you a message.
That's fine. During this time, the rest of you are otherwise censored over. You're otherwise given your deep clean. You're all okay. Kay, are you going for a deep clean as well? What does mean that you will be exposed as a Morben. Oh no, because you guys had the ritual ones, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had the ritual ones previously.
Yeah, I had the ritual ones. I'm just mostly just checking to make sure it's not on my clothes and making sure that both the package that I have for the other people's and the necklace thingy are clean.
Okay. Necklace thingy note, by the way. Kat had a conversation with Vinny and you about it, and Vinny
I
put the
see,
necklace
so
back.
I don't have it.
No, the necklace thing you don't, but the package you do.
Fine.
Okay. I'm going to
So.
wrap a towel around my head to try and keep as much hair in place for the time being.
Cool. And I'll say deep cleaning on you, okay, using the ritual one. You otherwise sit through it. It's annoying, but after it's done, it's done. You're otherwise cleaned up for the most part, all of you. Okay. What can I close? Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay. So, with that, you will have all been cleaned up, and you all head to the head abbot.
Hospice.
Yes. Okay. So you've been cleaned up. I'm just going to roll a d20 for each of you for your cleanliness, or for how well you were deep cleaned. Okay. 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 Get rid of that. Do that. Alright. So, you all head to the hospice. The rain's still pitter-pattering down. You head in. It's getting late. You can see that Tracy is currently just doing her final rounds, it would seem. And you can see the... You can see the head abbot otherwise wandering around doing his rounds as well. Who's doing what?
My confidence has taken a massive dump, so I'm not.
Well, I guess since Tracy was the one that asked us about the dude that
Lenning.
Lenning, yeah,
Yeah.
was the one that asked us to check on Lenning. I feel I should talk to her first about
Yeah, definitely.
him.
Yeah, going to break the news.
You leading
So
the way
I'm
here, Ken?
going to her.
Okay. You make your way towards Tracy. You see she's doing her final round. She kind of puts her stuff down, turns as you approach. You just kind of clear your throat. Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
We've returned from the Bevots.
Yes. How was it? How are they?
They have all passed,
I see.
including Lenning.
I see. I need to inform the head abbot of this. Thank you for letting us know.
It's okay. It's what he wanted as well.
What he wanted?
When we were there, the staff and the father and Lenning were like ghost peoples. They were held on to the world by, I'm not exactly sure what, but they all had requests that they wanted completed.
And what was Lenning's?
To let people know what happened.
And I have a question before I actually say this in character. When he said return the nails, was it to the hospice or to any particular abbots or?
Just to the hospice.
Right, gotcha. Okay. So when that's been asked, then Damian is getting the nails out and offering them towards Tracy, and to return his nails to you.
She takes the nails. Thank you. Thank you, yes. I'll... Would you like me to break the news to the head abbot, or... Thank you.
Should we... I think we should maybe accompany you. We need to talk to him anyway, but it might be better if we're there too.
Yes, by all means.
Before we go, how are things in the hospice with... And sort of gestures to the people presumably lying in beds?
No new cases today. People are slowly recovering, same as before. Still needs work. But now that your friends are back, I'm sure we'll be able to... If you're willing to help, we'll be able to work through this.
Yeah.
There have been no corpse ooze attacks. And we've dealt with some stuff that was going on with Lenning's home.
Ah, very good. So you've got the paper and stuff.
Yes, there wasn't much. There was surprisingly little.
Okay. Well, I will help out where I can, but I will need supply of paper and ink. But
yes, the head abbot has some. I believe it was... I think it was mostly paper. He didn't have much ink. But he had a fair amount of paper.
Okay, well, it gives me something to start on. But yeah, hopefully would be nice if we can stay a week so I can just try and help as many people as I can. Meanwhile, I've got to try and deal with this. Hair falling out everywhere.
Oh, In which case, yes, we go and see the head abbot, and then I'll leave you to what you need to do. Hopefully things get better for your hair. Was this also ghost stuff, or?
No, just don't go for a deep clean with, the knights.
Damian touches his own hair,
Right.
just making sure it's actually still there.
I want to make
same.
it extremely clear. Do go for a deep clean with the knights. Just make sure they're gentle.
I see. Noted.
Yeah,
She
Damian's
looks
a bit
mildly
confused.
concerned. Okay. You head over to where the head abbot is. You see he's currently busy working on a few bits and pieces, out and about. Currently speaking to one patient, who he otherwise kind of tells him, "Oh, just lie back down." "Ah, you've returned. Does this mean good or bad news?" His eyes lock onto the nails. "I am going to assume bad."
Well, not entirely.
It's
I mean,
Well,
good,
not good.
not good for the Bevots or Lenny.
I see.
I am sorry to bear that bad news.
And so long as they've been buried, that's all
Did
good.
we bury Lenning? I just realised that.
Sebastian went through and buried the bodies that he could.
Ah, good, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say I'd forgotten.
Yeah, he was absent for a chunk of time while hide and seek was going on, as he was burying some bodies.
Oh, okay.
He didn't bury Lenning's at the time because he didn't know where it was, but yeah.
Now he did, yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't imagine we would have just abandoned a body anyway.
Yeah.
But we did. Sebastian did the job.
Well, no,
I would have
you
just recycled it.
you filled out the rest of the job. That's fine. So.
No Romulus.
And was the disease anything to do with that?
We believe.
Inconclusive.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. She fell ill. Have we got the
Go to
notes?
diary
still?
entries?
Yeah,
that
you've got
Lord
the
Bevots
notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
made?
I'll hand over the diary entries. We got this to go off of.
Oh, don't forget the messed up circlet.
Yes, we've also got the circlet, which
I'll say it's been cleaned off.
yeah, it has an enchantment on it, or had an enchantment on it, but the enchantment's broken. It's not dispelled, but it's kind of changed to the point where it no longer actually works. We can rebuild the enchantment, and have been told by the Plague Knights that it is safe to do so.
Ah. He wanders off with the circlet and the papers and kind of just gestures for you to follow him. He heads into his office, and as he heads in, you note that as he heads into the office, he kind of just begins speaking, as the rest of you are still following up. Professor Janus, could you give this a look over, please? Apparently the enchantment on it has broken down, but this is the one that Lord Bevots wrote on in his letters that he sent to Lenning. You see Professor Janus there still, as he's otherwise looking at poring over some notes at the current time, just looking through various things, mixing up some tonics, and just like following instructions to the letter as he otherwise looks up. Of course, yes. So this is just a circlet. It's non-magical from what I can tell.
I believe it was magical.
Was magical.
Something about it being damaged?
Yeah, so the enchantment has warped. It's not the original enchantment. A lot of it is still there, so it can be rebuilt.
I see. Well, this is certainly an interesting one. I don't see why that should be an issue. Rebuilding it, anyway. It might help discover some things, and it's certainly going to be something valuable if it's able to suppress the disease which many tried to deal with Christine. What's warped it, do you think?
Don't know. We don't know whether it was prior, like during these notes, or whether it was when Kay removed it from Christine's head. But Kay did receive some degree of feedback from it when he did it.
I have a question, Mr. Chris. Have I looked over these notes?
They were read out to all of you.
So
At the beginning.
do I actually notice the pattern? The one that I know of.
If you notice it here, then yeah, you can speak it.
I believe what had happened was the enchantment was slowly. There was a drawback to the enchantment itself and required something, and when something didn't happen like it was supposed to, I believe that's when the enchantment itself started to waver and be distorted in the way that it was, and then led to where it is now. And I believe when I took it off of her is when the entire enchantment couldn't hold itself together anymore.
So something was kind of already warping it previously?
If what I believe is true, it did suppress her disease, but it also suppressed everything. And she had to clean herself properly when she took it off.
I'd say what Kade'd be able to glean here would be the aspect that there was a condition. The specification of the condition is unknown.
This is just theoretical to him. He doesn't know if it's true. He's just noting what he thinks is true. And cleaning is the only thing that makes sense in this.
Yeah, that's fair.
Cleaning of Christine cleaning herself? And needing to take it off to actually, like, shower, as an example, or bathe? Am I getting that right? Am I understanding what you're meaning?
That's what I believe.
Gotcha. So when she had to actually clean herself, she removed it, and as she kept doing that, that gradually warped the enchantment because it was designed.
No, it was made to be like that. I don't know exactly what happened, but something might have happened, and she didn't do a step properly.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not sure exactly, but I believe that when she might have gotten sick and couldn't show it with the circlet on.
Right.
That's what I believe, anyways.
I mean,
in the letters that you got previously from Lenning and the Bevots, or Lenning got from the Bevots, was the circlet mentioned?
Not really, no. Well, the only one that we got that was to Lenning. Hold on. He's going to go and he acquires the same letter that you have already received, or the one that you already know of. The one from the one that was in, and he kind of turns to you and go, the one that you found that was folded attached to the diary. This was in Lenning's apartment. It was otherwise pinned to one of his corkboards in there. My good physician, it dreads me to inform you that Christine, despite her miraculous recovery from her ills, has fallen ill again, etc., etc.
Oh, right.
That's the extent of it. And just goes, yes, I see.
So we don't actually know when she originally... Hang on, let me get my head around this. Right, so we know that the illness began... How many weeks ago? Sorry, I'm trying to process this all.
The diary states that 5 weeks ago...
Oh, no, in the town.
Oh!
That was about 3 weeks
that
ago?
was 4 weeks ago was the first signs of it. It was near
Right,
the beginning.
okay.
It was 3.5, about 4 weeks ago was when it first started.
fine.
And then a week after that, the corpses arrived.
Right, okay, so...
Um,
In that case, we don't actually know... This is me speaking as Damian 23. We don't actually know when she got the circlet, then. Could this maybe have been something to do with the merchant?
it might. It had to have happened at least. Well, not at least. It had to have happened before, like, 2 months ago.
Yeah, you know that she got that she was miraculously cured by what the merchant brought in Pidded, which is 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So that's when she got the circlet.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get my head around, that it was him who had brought the circlet.
If it was her cleaning herself that was required for it, is it possible that that being cleaned is what, and is in getting into the sewers could have been what caused these oozes to appear? Or would that have been a completely disconnected?
I'd say you know the sewer system runs for the town only, and Lord Bevots Manor is half a day's travel outside of town, so there wouldn't be a sewer system that connects to it.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. Good thought, though.
Still don't have many answers for where the oozes came from.
I think I have
It seems
a
like they're
theory.
connected to the leaf cutters, but
Not too sure. I've kind of got a vague theory. Is because obviously loads of people were dying, and there was a lot of death around. Whatever the origin, i.e., that rat was, I think was attracted to all the death, and then that is when it started reproducing, so to say, because it had biomass above. Start producing.
Sorry, just had the thought of like, I can see the headlines now. Huffed up rat leads rampage in Trenwell's arrest.
Yeah, let's go. That's my theory in regards to the slimes. I think they were tied to the rat, and the rat was lured here by something, and I can only think potentially the amount of death that was around.
There was a lot of death near the beginning. And when a lot of cases came in, we didn't know how to handle it all. A lot of people died in their own homes initially, and that's when corpse oozes started popping up in there shortly after the Plague Knights arrived and they burned the houses down. Which was shortly before you arrived here, incidentally.
But if the users were just attracted to death, why'd they set up shop below ground?
Somewhere safe to originally start. I mean, I dare say the rat would have been a soul creature or soul entity when it originally arrived. And then it would have had to slowly grow and grow and grow. It probably needs somewhere safe where it can...
Oh, that rat, not
grow.
The other rat.
No.
Or the
No,
other rat
big
who's
ass
currently with
rat.
us.
That's the slime rat.
Yes. I thought
mean,
we were
if
talking about
it's-
the right rat for a minute.
Oh, no. But, I mean, if it was literally just a solitary rat, didn't have anything really to go off of, it probably wouldn't leave itself exposed. It'd find like a dark, dingy little hole and grow from there. I think it was a case of just the wrong place and at the wrong time for the leaf cutters.
Could be. Hell of a coincidence, though.
It is. But, I mean, we weren't able to really test the sentience of that rat. I mean, if it had a higher level of intelligence and it could have worked this out, if it had a lower level of intelligence, then it was just a stumbling accident. But considering it seemed to organise rats and slimes to work in cahoots with each other, I would say that probably signals quite a high level of intelligence. I mean, it maintained essentially an army of slime and rats.
It's all interesting speculation, and it's something that we can certainly look into the different hypotheses. I mean, you're part of the Cataloguers Guild, so get what information you can to Alistair and sort things out from there. I've gathered up what paper and ink I could. We haven't really got the funds to buy any, but there is more at the guilds. We could potentially petition to them or pay for it. It's up to you.
It, by any means possible, the more we can get, the more lives we potentially could save.
I agree. We've paid quite a lot for the medicine, which is mainly slowing it down. We didn't really know that there'd be a magic that we could use. The Plague Knights have been doing their best to keep it at bay, but not have been able to cure it. I'm guessing it has something to do with a magical sensitivity, perhaps, given the nature of your magic working on it.
Well, I mean...
If it's born from magic, gestures to the circlet, maybe it can be destroyed by magic.
Yeah, quite possibly.
I mean,
back into the flames from whence it came.
I mean, the lady... I can't remember her name now, hold on. Gotta scroll down to Tremor's Rest. Lady Dellen's been doing wonderful work, and her healing's gone a long way to help a lot of the people around her. She's been doing wonderful work, and her magic's been very effective. It's just... Obviously, we learned that a bit more from you. Traditional methods aren't going to be necessarily enough. They can help, but still. I thank you for this, and I wouldn't ask any more of it if it wasn't necessary, but I know you said you'd be willing to help with cleansing. Are the rest of you willing to help in various ways?
I'm more than happy to lend a hand.
Yeah, of course.
I'm hoping that you may receive a letter in the coming days.
Perhaps, yes.
Replies, possibly, so I will certainly be around anyway, so yes, I'm more than happy to help.
Okay. In which case, shall we move into a week time skip as you do various things around town?
Does that mean that I get my healing back?
Yeah.
This means that everybody will get your hit points back, you'll get full long rest, and you'll get all of that, and there's nothing to worry about there.
I'm assuming Kay... Are we going to do the bit where Kay gets to... I don't know, is Kay going to be delivering it in that week?
Yes. I'll be going through everybody and sorting that stuff. Yeah. So,
before we do the time skip, I've got a spell slot left. I'm going to use a clean rune and magic missile to help what we can, and I'm going to fire one at myself to slow down or see if it prevents all of the hair falling out.
No, you want all the hair to come out, otherwise it's going to become blotchy.
No, if I can keep some, I can work with it.
I mean, you were told
Chris, that is what the guy said, right?
Yeah, he said that if you don't pull any hair out, it will rot and become blotchy, and it won't grow back ever.
You got to be bold.
That's fine. I've got to try and make something in this week.
Okay.
Great.
I will say. So, is there anything else that anybody wants to do before the time skip begins?
No, I'm good.
No.
Okay. So time skip begins. I will move your mark on the calendar 7 days forward for future reference. So, as your week begins, the weather ever-changing here in Trendle's Rest as things begin to progress. Let us go around the table. Who would like to start with what they would like to do during this week?
I suppose I can go.
Okay. What sort of things would you like to be doing during this time?
Careless balls, by the way.
Horrifying.
Oh, that is absolutely disgusting.
That is horrifying.
Alrighty then.
Alright.
Main thing I'm gonna be trying to do is I'm mostly going to be trying to find let me get their names real quick. Oswald and Iva, or is it Eva?
Ivor, I believe. Hold on, I'm trying to find it myself. Ivor.
Ivor Robotnik.
Oswald and Ivor Westwind. Yeah.
Yep. So, go ahead and roll me an investigation check. This will succeed regardless. This will just be a how long it will take.
Investigation. That is gonna take a while.
Okay. I will say you wander around for quite some time, knocking on doors, looking around, seeing to find people. These people just don't exist. You take a day out in the middle as you're a bit frustrated that you can't find them.
I was
But
about to say Damian would. Oh, hang on. Would Damian know? No, you won't. Don't worry.
no, just it's fine. Leave him to it. It's okay. Wanders around. Can't seem to find them for quite some time. And I'll say on the 5th day, when you go and get yourselves all checked up for your 3-day prep, the captain or the commander otherwise turns to you and has a short conversation with how are you doing? Have you found them yet? And the answer being no. You otherwise go with Sebastian to the Bank of Iron, where he then proceeds to otherwise converse with them about details and where it should be sent, and otherwise arranges for you to be a courier to take the parcel to their house.
Sweet.
You otherwise arrive at one of the doors that you knocked on and were told to go away, asking for the children of the household, and being a suspicious Plague Knight individual, they presumably turned you away, thinking you were a Plague Knight.
Just Plague Knight coming in to burn their child.
Yeah.
They have reasons to be scared.
Oh my god, a child's gonna be eaten by something with a mask.
They wouldn't suspect being eaten. No,
I don't know. I don't know what the Plague Knights do when they're not being interacted at by us playable characters.
Turns out they're all actually just eating people on the down low.
I can get behind this. I'll join them.
Yeah, we killed all the slimes. All these other ooze attacks were just cover stories for the fact that they'd just be eating people during the night.
Man.
I'm sorry, party, but these are my people. I must leave you for them.
Fine, we understand.
Where is it? There it is. I found it.
You found it?
Found it.
He's found where they actually are. No.
There we go. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, fair.
So, as you otherwise go to the door, knock on the door, Sebastian otherwise goes, I believe this is the household of the Westwinds. The person who answers the door otherwise looks at you, looks at him. Yes. They're not ill, though. No, we've got a parcel from... What's his name?
Biggie Smalls.
You're not there.
Parcel from Isaac.
Yes,
Westwind.
Isaac.
Oh, my father, okay.
Oh no.
Of course. Do you want to come in, or who's it to?
It is to Oswald and Iva.
Oh, I'm sorry for the misunderstanding before. Of course. Sure. You give her the parcel. How much do you tell her?
I feel like she should know that he has passed.
Okay.
I'm not doing it where if they're around where they can hear me, but I'm making sure she knows that he has.
Okay. I will say, make me a choice of stealth or perception check. Perception will mean that you can guarantee the children aren't there, but obviously it'll be more difficult because you've got a lower perception score. Or you can stealth in the attempt to say it quietly, but then if they are around, then obviously the mother isn't necessarily going to hide it.
I'm gonna go with stealth.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with stealth. Why? Can I get rid of this dice? Yeah, that one. I'm down to this one. This is my new dice.
Okay. So,
that was.
I'll say, because there's still a chance the kids aren't about, go ahead and roll me. I was going to say roll me a d6 and it needs to be a 4 or higher and they'll be around, but I'll say roll me a d8 and a 4 or higher and they'll be around. So the odds are slightly worse in your, slightly worse.
Now you gotta land on a 1. Nope.
Okay. So you otherwise say this to her, not in a not caring manner, but you let her know as you kind of pass the parcel over. She takes the parcel and is kind of caught in shock for a moment as Sebastian kind of looks, sees what's about to happen, and just kind of bows and just goes, sorry for your loss. We did what we could. Unfortunately, we've only been able to just put him to rest. She doesn't take the news well, as it has definitely come as a shock for this. And this is true. I'll say, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check. Sebastian will be doing the same. Sebastian's good at persuasion because he's a paladin. Ooh, yeah. Okay.
Not that good, apparently.
Not that. He rolled low. Hey, you did better than Sebastian. Unless you got a negative.
I got 12.
Okay. With the two of you, she doesn't take it out on you by any means. She understands, she accepts it, and she's reasonable about it, if not very distraught and shocked. The grandkids are too, as they seem to be affected by this as well, but they aren't. Being young, you can tell that they aren't going to be affected by this in the same manner. There hasn't been as much of a connection built up. They maybe know like about cool grandpa who lives at some rich guy's place. But you can see they're only 5 and 6, so they're not really. Actually, no, they'd both be 5 because they're twins. Sorry. But you do note that there's upset, but it's not going to be problematic for them in the long run. For the mother, it seems to be more of an immediate shock, and the family's there to support her. You did what you could. Is there anything else you'd like to take care of during this time? I believe you also had a meeting with the head abbot.
Yes. I would like to go see if he finally received the letter.
Okay. He has indeed received the letter, and he is going to go through with you on the basic magic types.
Alright.
So, what schools do you not know out of the basic 8?
Let's see. I've got currently...
Let's do this in order. Abjuration?
Abjuration I do have.
Mm-hmm. Conjuration?
I have it.
Divination? Yep, I know you have that one.
Yep.
Enchantment?
Yep. Yes.
Evocation?
Yes.
Illusion? Yes. Necromancy?
No.
Your
I don't.
fur turning black?
Okay, so that's a completely new one.
Correction, it's not. It's just you're completely covered up so no one notices.
No, it's a completely new one of things that happened to me.
Oh, it's happened before. You just didn't notice when it happened because you were covered up.
Oh.
That's what I mean.
Oh.
There was one time you were hit with a necromancy spell, or it happened nearby, and you didn't notice because why would you? You're completely covered. Because it only turns the sight black, notably.
I see.
And transmutation?
Yes.
Okay, so you have the basic 8.
Alright.
Okay.
So that leaves these two to figure out what those two are.
You do note, as this is all going through, he does take note that you are Morben, as is necessary for the purpose of understanding this magic. He doesn't take it poorly.
I do ask him if he knows what I am, because
Okay.
Kay doesn't know what he is.
Okay, in which case we'll have that discussion. As I'll say, you're in the presence of Professor Janice as well at this point, and as this is kind of occurring, you kind of take your mask off, and they kind of look at you momentarily and kind of taken back at the moment. Before the two of them kind of pause, and Janice looks over. You're a Morben.
What is Morben?
Rat folk. Do you not know what you are?
No. From what I understand, I was science experiment tested on, made to be like this.
The two of them pause and take in the very heavy realization of this. I see. Well, you're safe. Your information is safe with us. And that would explain the anomaly of what has been occurring with your detection and the sensitivity to magic.
It does?
If this is an experiment, then this is something that has been invoked in you. A magical effect. And people have tried this before and failed, mostly. It's strange to see that it has succeeded. It's both a marvel and something obviously horrific. I'm sorry you've had to go through this.
I just want to make sure I don't go back. Hence why I go around everywhere. Never in one place for too long.
We understand that. Very well. We'll know that you'll always be safe within the abbot's care. We obviously won't send this information around, but I'll make sure that the head abbot knows that... No. Watches Janice, though it pauses. I'll make sure that the head of our order knows that there is a particularly special individual who is not to be harmed. He's at the College of Medicine in Maruk if you ever wish to visit him.
What would be his name?
You would be looking to otherwise speak to head physician Pharaohsong. He is the advisor to the one in charge. One in charge to speak to specifically, and if you're looking to otherwise... If you're looking to have this more specifically looked into, let's see. Our main leader, who is also in Maruk, he is a busy man, so Pharaohsong's the best one to get in contact with. But if you can't, then Head Abbot Utalius. Utalius. He is the one in charge of everything. I am his direct assistant, so anything that I say I can get past fairly easily. You'll have sanctuary with abbots.
Thank you. I would probably, if they can help me understand, I will probably do that. I don't know much. How long has it been since I left?
You were with Vinny for about 6 months, I believe it was. Or 8 months. I don't know, how many? No, it was, I'd have to go back through your backstories, but I believe it was either 2 or 6 months. I can't remember exactly how long the two of you were working together with the of the caravan before you came here. And before that, you were around for about 3 months in Menagerie Ridge. So, at very most 9 months. At the very least 6 months. I'd say.
It hasn't even been a year of me leaving that place. It would be helpful to understand more about me and what they've done to me.
Of course.
'Cause
Parasong would most likely take this in stride as something to look into. This is a medical and more, I guess, a biological condition, but given its magical nature, it might have some ties to Arcana. In which case, you'll want to speak to the head professor. He's MIA at the moment. I'll see what can be done on his return.
Thank you.
I'll see what I can get done. So, with that, you have learnt the basic magics. You have gained an ally within the Order of Abbots in that regard. And is there any last little bits you'd like to take up during your time skip? Or
The only last little bit that I would like to do is do the other thing that I spoke to you about. Delving into the sewers to get more mushrooms.
yes. I'll say you sweep through the sewers in your off time and grab tons of mushrooms. I'll say go ahead and roll me. I'm gonna need more of these. Roll me 2d12 per, and decide which ones you would prioritize, going from highest to lowest and the rolls that you get, and then just add that many for each one. So I'll let you roll and decide that and just add that to your inventory. Weight doesn't matter particularly for them, but if you want to, just add 0.1 for the weight and that should be fine. Because you got plenty. Oh, well, you got a 14 and 2 3s.
Alright, well, the 14 is 100% going to the one that I know is very good, which is
Hag's Brain.
Just making sure which one.
Hag's Brain's the tasty one, Widow's
yeah.
Fever is the poisonous one, and then the others are the other one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go mostly with the Hag's Brain.
Okay, cool. So, who would like to go next in their mini time skip? I'll say Infernal, do you want to go next, given that you're going to be heading off earlier?
I was not aware there was going to be a time skip until now, so I haven't really thought of what I wanted to do.
Oh, no one really did, except for Jamie, because he wanted to do one. So, so no one knows.
I might head off soon, because I've got to go get Chloe from the station.
Yeah, so... which one of you two wants to go first? I'll say, Jamie, you go first, seeing as you probably know what you want to do, and Infernal, you think up yours during that time.
I have a plan. So, to start with, before we go back to the hotel that first night, Jamie, you have notes and thing. The lass that we went to go and see, the first victim of this thing.
Yes.
Didn't it work out that her mum was
Yes,
ill?
her mum was ill. I can't remember the name at the moment because I've got to scroll up about 20 pages because I have too many notes. Bear with me 1 second and I will find it. And I know roughly where it is in the city.
As long as Chris knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's down this way, isn't it?
Okay, Chris.
Elia's mum is Denny Buxall.
Okay.
I don't know her name.
That first, before we head off back to the room. I want to go and help her mum.
Okay.
Her mum's ill. I want to go and at least offer a cure.
A cleanser.
Mum.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll say, go ahead and... Oh, this will be a persuasion check.
Am I accompanying you?
I'll say, Kat's got... For the purposes of this, I'll say each of you have a Plague Knight and you just do your own things. Unless you want to... Unless the person who's doing the action wants to team up with somebody else.
In fact, instead of a Plague Knight, is it possible to request one of the abbots? Because they might be more familiar with them and comfortable.
Yep. I'll say Abbess Tracy goes before she heads to bed. And you head down there. But what's your persuasion?
My persuasion is probably crap. Oh, it's actually not too bad. It's +2.
Okay. Total 14. You, with Abbess Tracy with you, making it a lot easier. You head into the building. You head to her mum, who is very clearly sick with blight skin. And you can see that it's getting close to its latest stages. Quite happily. What are you using with your cleanse rune here?
I have. Oh god, it's a gamble, isn't it? Because.
And did you account for the spell slots you used?
Yes, I've got 2 spell slots left.
Spell points, rather.
Spell points, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I can do a magic missile, but there's a high chance of wild magic. Actually, no. Sod it. It's fine because I can use my inspiration if it gets bad.
Okay.
So, yes, okay, I'm going to use magic missile, targeting all of them at the mum.
Okay, I will do the wild magic. You're fine. Should have remembered the inspiration earlier, but that's fine.
Fire magic missiles at their ill
I
mother.
know. But hang on, no, I can't complain because, on a positive note, something fun could come from this.
Yes, it's true. Something fun will come from this when we get there, but yeah.
100%.
So, as you're otherwise standing there, you perform the gestures for the spell. She's too young to understand that this is a harmful spell. The mum doesn't understand magic and is too ill to know. But you can see that there is almost this panic in her eyes as you do cast this spell. Almost as if something's trying to fight back against it. In that immediate moment, you pick up that whatever this disease is, it's mildly sentient. That it is self-preserving, which is scary in itself, but it's something very specific you pick up on here. As the magic missile hits, all 3 of them, first one hits, and there's this cleansing wave which removes a large portion of like the immediate pustules. The next one takes away a lot of the redness, and the third one nails it home, and you see her mum collapses for a moment. As Abbot Tracy, or the Abbess, kind of goes over, gives a look over, and you can see that she is fast asleep, alive, and seemingly completely cured. Going from the final stage on death's door and hysteria all the way back to healthy.
Okay, I'm going to go to the little ones. It's okay. The mum's safe now. She's just got to have a little sleep, but then she'll be perfectly fine. Thank you so much for the help from earlier.
Thank you.
It's not a problem.
She gives you a hug.
Right.
Hugging blanket.
I'm really on edge at the moment.
Okay.
Just a pat.
Okay.
Okay.
Pat. Okay.
I'm gonna. Right, cool. Then I'm gonna head back to the inn after.
Okay. You head back to the inn and you rest. Getting some sleep. You wake up the next morning. You think about what's going on, and you kind of run your hand through where your hair would usually be as you prepare to comb it, and you can feel about 2 inches worth of hair.
This is frustrating.
It is growing back.
If the magic eliminated this, maybe magic can fix this.
We need to make a more aggressive strain of the virus to kill the virus.
Not the virus, the hair. Oh god.
Fight wild magic with wild magic. That's how it works.
That's it. It's now a wild magic off.
Something goes wrong with wild magic. The only way to fix it is with more wild magic.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Does having your hair fall out and grow back in the next 24 hours, does that cause it to grow back quicker? Or does that mean that you just cancel out and you just lose hair and then you don't lose any hair and just grows back instantly? Who knows?
Well, let's go. Well, I'm going to go and collect all of the paper and ink that I can get from all of the relevant places.
Mm-hmm.
I will inform the abbots that today I will be spending the day focusing on making runes and creating something that I need to do. Then from that point on, I will be using said runes. So, yes, that is my plan.
Okay.
So I'll do that. When I've collected all of the paper ink from everywhere that I can get it, I'm going back to the room, and I am going to create a spell. Well, I'm going to try. I'm going to work on making a spell.
Okay. And I believe this was going to be a hair regrower spell from what you wanted to do.
Yes, I was going to make a regrowth spell.
Okay. Alrighty then. So, getting your components. I think we'll sort all of this off stream. All of the rolls and all of that off stream. Because as fun as it would be, we'll say that you spend as much time as you need to get this done. The minimum time that you'd have to spend on this would be 5 times the level of the spell in hours. So you'd be looking at 5 hours, because this would be a first level spell for hair regrowing.
Also, fun fact: you can absolutely sell the shit out of this spell to bold people.
Yeah, I know.
The real question is, would it work on bold people?
I think it.
And how long does the hair last? This is going to become an interesting question of like how the spell
Until
will
their next
function.
short rest.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness! Just go into a barbershop, go up to. Oh no! Oh no! Yeah, Kat secures her future as a con artist later down the line by selling hair to people and just watching it fall out. And it's like, oh, you need to use the lotion at least 2 times a day. You obviously didn't.
Fair.
See,
Okay.
instant
I gave
results.
you very specific instructions. You need to use it 7 times a day on the hour. It needs to be equidistant, but not if it's a full moon in the month within the last week, either before or after application. You can't do it if it's been raining 3 days before, nor 4 days after. Do make sure of that.
Exactly.
And
Also,
you
if
can't have
there's a
eaten
rat,
pickles in the last year.
yeah, and also if there's a rat within the local mile,
It'll all
because
pull out instantly.
my spells are just naturally allergic to rats. Oh god. So yeah, I'm going to be creating that, and with the leftover time during that day, I'm going to be making some cleansing rooms.
Okay. So you make cleansing rooms, and they're going to be for helping around the hospice?
They are for helping around the hospice. Yeah. As resources that I've collected specifically to that purpose, that is what they will be used for.
Okay, cool. So, you make the cleansing runes, you help out around the hospice. I will say in that time, the number of people infected quite happily goes down as you heal a bunch of people. They're sent home, and then there's others brought in for healing. Over the course of the 7 days, it does take quite a bit of coin. But I will say, given that local people are funding this now very much, oh yeah, it's possible. And I'll say with some hefty pushes, the mayor is forced to give some coin for this cause that's now working. You are funded with cleanse runes to help assist the local people, and otherwise don't eradicate, but very much narrow down the number of people ill by a lot. Okay.
Bye, Infernal.
Okay.
Yep, Infernal said he had to head off. Infernal also told me that during his stuff, he's just going to be asking for information about the leaf cutters and how to stop them. And I'll do that either at the beginning of next stream or off stream, depending on when I end up catching him. And then he said he's going to think up more stuff for next week. But yeah,
Cool.
Anything else you wanted to do there, Kat?
No, apart from casting the spell and...
Okay. I'll say your hair does grow
works.
back within 24 hours of the instant, so it is fully regrown as it was before.
okay. Right, yeah.
So your spell will be finished after you... Most likely after or just before your hair's fully regrown.
Okay, that's fine. If it's pretty fully regrown, then yeah, at that point, that's all right. Oh my god, I can give myself a moustache.
Oh,
This would be great.
temporary hairdo, the first level spell.
Wait.
Yeah.
Consider. Stealthily cast it on me every day, but like only a little bit, and just see how long it takes Romulus to notice that he's turned into a Highland yak.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go.
Oh
I'm
man.
half tempted. I was trying to work out how I could really mess with Romulus, and I think that is the perfect way to do it.
Oh my goodness.
Throughout this week, I am literally just going to be casting. It's going to be growing like 2 millimeters, 3 millimeters, just each day. So before I go, I'm literally just going to be burning a first level spell slot.
Okay.
Mess with Romulus.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll see what the spell does, and I'll discuss this with you during the week and see what we can come up with as a fun spell for hairy growth. I'll probably have it be something on the lines of ritual casting will cause it to be more a permanent hair repair, whereas instant cast is going to be more combat usage or fun quip.
Yes. Let's go.
Usage.
Oh, I'm going to have
Well,
such a great time with
think
this.
about
I'm
it.
sorry, guys.
Good work, yeah.
No, think about it in combat. Like, you can choose a piece of hair on someone to cause a certain effect. You cause their eyebrows to become really bushy and they're blinded. Or you cause someone's mustache to just suddenly sprout from their face and all of a sudden they're just distracted. Or who knows? Maybe their chest hair just bulges outwards, and all of a sudden, this individual who's wearing really nice clothes in just the middle of a courtroom, just suddenly there's this big poof, and then it's just chest hair everywhere. Like, you could come up with some really weird and really unhygienic things to do with this spell.
I know. I'm going to. Yes. Good luck, everyone.
Hey, upcasting, you can be Rapunzel, and you can throw your hair around and use it as a weapon.
Oh, cool. It's the only combat skills I have.
Hair.
That is how centaurs climb trees.
Grappling hook.
Yes.
Woof. Okay.
That's it. I'm game.
Alright. So.
Alright. I'm going to head on off then.
Yep, you need to head off. And we'll quickly rush through Vinny, Romulus, and Damian. Which one of you wants to go next?
I can go next, if that's alright.
Go for it.
Cool.
I have had a short think about this. I want to help out people, but also there's not much I can do that is, frankly, helpful in general.
There's plenty of things for you to do. Following recipes, making tonics, carrying people to and from.
Recipes was what I was thinking. Specifically, helping out with making food for people, and anything else that involves cooking or anything similar. Since that fits nicely with with Romulus's character, so I thought I'd do that for a week and maybe get a bit trained up in it.
Yeah, I'll say, is that the only thing you want to do? Just help out around the place and that sort of thing? If there's nothing else?
That's the main thing. In any spare time I get, I think the only thing I'd really be doing is maybe sparring with some of the Plague Knights, just to try and keep my skills up.
Okay.
Do it with me as well.
So, honing
I can spar with you anytime.
True.
So honing
hang on, wait, what? Was that flirtation?
No, it wasn't. So honing your skills in that. Okay.
If you wanted to be, all you need to do is flip that shiny blonde hair.
Okay. We don't have much time, Camille.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I'll say spending your time with the, with that sort of like just sparring and learning. I'll say, go ahead and roll me 2d20s. The base DC will be 10. If you succeed on both, you become proficient. If you succeed on one, you will be a step towards. If you succeed on neither, then I'll say you just helped out. Okay. So in this instance, you have, I'll say you, over the course of this time, you've helped out. You've learned from the chef. I will say you have become proficient in cook's utensils.
Yay.
And you've otherwise spent the time, like, working with this sort of thing, working with vegetables, the long period of time that you've spent making your own, like, food and stuff for a long period of time, it only makes sense that now it would come a bit more like, oh, I'm more used to these modern utensils of, like, cooking stuff in this manner rather than just using a stick all the time. There's the ultimate universal cooking technology. So...
It was very good cooking technology.
Yes.
Awesome. And when I'm sparring with the Plague Knights, I'm taking a note of how a Plague Knight fights, just in case.
They are very defensive. They use their shield as their primary weapon before they use their mace. They tend to use their shield as a general block, shield themselves, guard themselves, push, shove, move up, knock you back for a moment, and then go ahead and take swings. The captains, notably, are more skilled with magic. And notably from the big captain with the rebreather, the half-giant, he is not melee focused. He is a caster, a dedicated caster, and his magic is very strange. You get the general note that as a full-blown caster, he is a very heavy individual when it comes to not damaging spells, but utility and support-based magic. If you caught him in a single 1v1, he might struggle. If you caught him in a 2v, in like a party versus 2, your party might not stand a chance.
Right.
Because he can buff one person to oblivion.
If I ever spar against him, I will just mention, wow, are all captains of plague knights like you, or like, is this what it takes to be one?
You hear in your head, not all of us are this skilled. Most of us are skilled in different ways, but I'm more focused on magic. That's what I'm skilled in. The commander she doesn't fight all that often, and she doesn't fight, not necessarily not well, but she doesn't fight often because it's not her forte. Not all the commanders are built for fighting, most of them are built for strategy and management purposes, but we do have a few that are specialists. Those individuals typically end up being referred to as exorcists or inquisitors because of their speciality.
Do I recognize either of those terms from meeting a certain individual?
You do indeed.
Inquisitor?
Yes.
Thought so.
Yeah. So the person that you have met, given the nature of what's been mentioned, she is either a very high-ranking inquisitor, or potentially higher. You don't know, but she is at the very least an inquisitor, which puts her at a commander rank.
Inquisitors, exorcists. What are they like?
Very skilled. Imagine like one of the captains, just 4 times stronger.
Absolutely terrifying. Got it.
Yes, they're very skilled. They're very good at what they do. There aren't many that are primarily magic. Most of them are heavy, kind of martially focused. But
how do you know how this whole plague knight thing got started?
from what I understand, that is something from an older time. That there was if I remember correctly what it used to be that the place where we currently reside used to be a temple of some form to a older deity, and our order was dispatched to cleanse the place. After we got there, we took the place on as our own and used the old readings and realized the cultists were wrong in the way that they thought they were using the magic. As a result, we then we figured out the way that it was supposed to be used and formed the necessary workings to form an order. From what I understand, there are vents in the abyss which cause various diseases across the plains or something, and I don't know entirely. I'm affected by these gases, much like a few of our other heavy casters are, hence the rebreather, and these gases help us focus. And they're not inherently poisonous, but they are across other planes. It's strange.
All right. Thank you for the information. You're an interesting organization, and I'm happy to have worked with you.
And you. Okay.
That's me done. Go.
All right. Simon, or
Yes.
you, Jamie?
Yeah, go Simon.
I'm happy to go.
Yep.
Yeah. First things first. I need my lockpicks.
Easy enough.
Repair
25
replaced.
gold. Oh no, 5 gold for the replacement of the lockpick. Yep. The repairing of the kit.
Perfect. Right, that's all done. Second of all, I would like to buy a loot.
Okay. How much is it GP wise? Do you know?
It is 35 in the player's handbook.
Okay. I will say you can choose between a fine crafted one that will be more decorative and cool for 40 GP. You can buy a cheap one that has a chance to break for 30, or you can buy a standard one for 35.
I'll go for the standard one. I don't want
Okay.
to. I want this to last, but I don't want a super fancy one.
Okay. Easy enough. You can acquire that. There are plenty of woodworkers in town. This is a town for trade, so there will be plenty of individuals for that.
Awesome. Vinny will definitely be having a long conversation with the maker, but we don't have to litigate that. It'll just be.
Is this about like design and stuff, or is this?
Yeah, just talking about like what they do, what they get up to, if they have much custom stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Is in like how they design it, or? Or do you mean just like how much custom stuff do they get ordered?
Just generally, like, what sort of stuff they get up to, what if they get any particularly interesting requests, if they've had much business recently, stuff like that.
Okay.
That Vinny would be
Anything in
interested to know.
particular you're looking for? Is this orientated towards certain
I
pieces
guess
of
I'd be
information?
interested to know if they have anything, if they've had any really strange requests recently. Though mostly it's just making conversation.
I'm just hold on. I need to quickly look through my plot notes and see if there's anything where that might have potentially come up. I don't think there
No
is,
worries.
but I'll just double check. Given the local area. Okay, I'll say the merchant otherwise gets back to you and says, nothing particularly strange, no. We've had shaman folk come through looking for various instruments and replacing. They often come through with requests. Shaman folk are much like yourself, really, but more flamboyant and decorated, shall we say. Yeah, they often make requests, specifically carved ones to match their tattoos or something similar, but other than that, not really.
I'll have to see if I run into any of them then.
Oh, I'm sure you will. Going around any town, even outside the city, I believe there will be some at the moment.
Alright then.
Okay. Anything
Okay,
else?
next thing, whenever Kay is going down into the sewers for mushrooms, I will join him and see if there are any surviving rats. And if, with the destruction of the hive mind, they'd maybe be amenable to a conversation.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Okay, I will say go ahead and roll me an investigation check. With advantage, because I'll say with advantage because Kay's with you, and he's a rat. I'll allow it. Ooh, very good. Okay.
19, that's a 19 total.
Okay, wandering around the sewers, you do indeed find something of interest. You find a few rats wandering to and from. You do know that they're kind of wandering in and out of their holes a little bit more actively, kind of wandering around as they were. Where this place has been completely cleaned out of slimes and ooze, the water here has become muggy and almost thicker and almost congealed to a certain extent. There's blood, corpses of rats, and more specifically bones that have just been left around here, just kind of sticking out. Plenty of fungus. A lot of the fungus has changed to a certain degree, hence why K hasn't gotten as much of it in certain times, because they've been altered by the environment and kind of the black ichor that's now seeping into them and changing their properties to a negative way that would cause a lot of detrimental harm to you. I'll explain it away as that. That's why you didn't get as many as you'd like.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you do indeed find a few rats wandering around.
Okay. Yeah, if they're not swarming,
No.
I'll try and use the I'll have brought some basic food with me. Like whatever rats would eat. Pretty much anything, I think.
Yeah.
Some good stuff then. Maybe some meat.
Well, the question is, what does our own personal rat in the party?
I have cheese.
He has cheese, he has deer pieces, so we'll say bits of that unless he wishes to eat them during his time skip. Because otherwise they're going off.
I think Vinny knows Kay well enough to know that Kay's dietary requirements are slightly unusual.
This is true. I'll
But
say
I have
meats and
deer and
insects.
cheese.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably get some meat and maybe some green vegetables if I can get my hands on them.
Okay.
And I'll be offering this to some of the rats if they can answer me some questions about.
I know for a fact they like banana chips. Anyway.
Interesting. I don't think Vinny would though. But yeah, I'll be offering them some food if they can tell me about what the sewers were like shortly before the users started arriving. if any of them can remember.
Okay. Use your ring to do your speak with animals.
I can ask up to 3 times a day, and I'll be doing this relatively often.
Yeah. I'll say asking the rats what it was like. You otherwise give them some food. You'd pass on the animal handling check, I'm sure. Be very low for them. As you otherwise approach the rats and kind of ask them what it was like beforehand, they the few that are kind of come out for the mini audience. They're just like, well, before it was very peaceful down here. We would just run around, grab food that fell into the sewers through the grates. People wouldn't pay attention to us. We'd go up, raid houses, raid bins. Oh, it was great. Bring food back down to the hive and enjoy, the nest and enjoy it, and families. There were wars between various territories and gang violence. There were a few of us which otherwise went into that weird pointy-eared people den and would steal things from there. They didn't like that. We often ran around, kind of did our own thing. Yeah, it was quite fun. And then all of a sudden there was kind of this weird strangeness and mistiness, and now we're here. And we've almost missed we've missed like several moon cycles, I think. It feels weird. It feels colder than it should be at this time of year.
So you don't have any memory of that sort of period? Then?
Only the fighting and the violence afterwards against the big green things, which weren't there before. They just appeared out of nowhere.
That makes sense. Did you notice any strange rats before you lost your memory?
Yeah, there was a few of them. There was a white one that would run around. He'd usually run around, have conversations with us. He was all right. He wasn't bad. He was a bit of an oddball, but we always took him for that. He went topside a lot. Didn't really see him down here that much. There was a grey one. That's the one that one showed up and kind of led this strange attack on the pointy-eared people's place. It was weird, and that's before we all went misty-eyed. Other than that, there's only the really old fart. I don't know if he's still alive in the northern section of the sewers, near the top of town. He calls himself the Rat King. He's in charge of the tunnel that's underneath some posh git's home.
Oh, I see.
I love them. I love them all. They're great.
So people have problems with rats, I hear. Now you don't.
It turns out that old fart was the one that the cat like obliterated.
Oh God.
Remember, what color was the leader rat that we found?
Grey.
Okay.
Yeah, so that sounds.
And they were attacking the leaf cutters. Interesting. Okay, that's good information. Right. Well, I'll make sure the survivors are well fed.
Yeah.
I'd say they've earned it.
Yeah. I'll say as you're wandering around over the next few days, you pick up a few other bits of information. The rats form their own little community for a bit, kind of evolving around you. You bring a bit of food back. You and Kay wander down. They help you with gathering. I'll say go ahead and roll me an additional D4 on a mushroom of your choice, Sudz.
Nice.
I'm gonna go with the. I'm gonna go with the brown and green mushroom.
Okay.
I love mushrooms because you'll get one called like the
Three.
brown cupped darling, which is like a delicious edible thing, and then you'll get the brown-capped death bastard that looks exactly the same.
And
And then, like, if you eat this, you're a stupid fucking fuck who's going to die.
I know, and it's like, oh, they look exactly the same. It's edible, it's free food, but don't, because there's this deadly one that looks exactly the same. Anyway. Okay, yeah, so over the course of this time, with the help of Vinny, using this little rat community that now is working with you, they go around, gather food. Well, they don't gather food for you, but they go around and they point out, like, choice mushroom clusters that haven't been affected. And they're generally very helpful. Like, they're nice folk. You feed them. They're pretty good at what they do. You do also note that they otherwise bring other rats to you as not necessarily like tribute, but as like, here, this guy knows something.
Okay.
And you learn a few other bits of information. The Kay was like, I want to eat them. And one of the rats which is brought to you remembers distinctly the attack on the Leafcutter's den. He was with the squad when it happened, and it was just a matter of they ran in and they attacked the lab. He seemed to know this strange illusory rule that was there, and they didn't know, but they just ran through the wall and they called him the rat god for a bit. And they ran in and they otherwise swarmed over one of the elven folk and attacked them. One other one showed up, and then then this king rat thing had this big tendril that came out and struck the other one, like just knocked him down dead. And then just proceeded to pulse, and him and the squad ran for it as this weird, like, ooze thing squelched out of it and attacked the rats that he was with. Some of the rats tried to kill him and failed, while he and a few others fled. They'd say it wasn't honourable, but they survived. And whatever happened, they kind of tendrils sprouted from the back of this rat.
Interesting. So the slime came from the rat.
It's what you can gather. And I'll say roll me one last investigation check. This one will be with the assistance of all the rats and Kay, but you will be countering the disadvantage you'll have for the difficulty of the information. 19. Okay. You find, with your strange presence in this place, that you managed to acquire an audience with the Rat King.
Oh.
Ooh.
You head to the northern section, and you find, rather interestingly, what looks to be a rat lying on what looks to be a throne of just furs and robe and bones and stuff. I will say, with your passive insight of both of you, that the rat is clearly dead.
I see.
And instead you are met by his ambassador, which proceeds to talk on his behalf. And seems to be trying to fool you that he is still alive and he's just an undead king who doesn't talk that much. You have a short conversation with him. You realise exactly where you are. You're under the mayor's house. And most notably, the ambassador speaks of strange visions occurring before the misty-eyed thing happened to them. Visions of eyes and teeth that racked the brains of many of their kin before they were controlled.
Eyes and teeth.
I don't suppose that the dead rat on the throne has a number of children that are big buff rats, does he?
Maybe.
I mean, I'm just wondering how much it would destroy their society if I ate the rat.
You can find out, Kay. Do you want to?
I want... Do I become the new Rat King? Oh, God.
But if you do, that means you can't leave. Or you get to take levels in Collector. Your choice.
Bring the rats with you.
Oh wow. There's levels in collector, rats that find food for me.
You hide
This-
Piper Trendlaw's rest.
This works. This works for K.
You want to?
uh,
This would mean you'd be multi-classing, but I'd totally be fine with that. It would delay the rest of your build, I will say.
It will delay the rest of my build. But just think of how funny this is.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
I am eating the rat just because it is funny.
Okay.
I am going to bend over and I am going to pick up this rat that is on the throne.
Okay.
And just look at it for a little bit.
You reach down, you look at the rat on the throne, it doesn't flinch. It stares at you the entire time. Completely just wide-eyed sockets, no eyes to be found, just staring at you.
I take this as a challenge.
Okay. Okay. You take it as a challenge. Make me an attack roll.
Do I get advantage because he's prone?
You get advantage because he's unconscious. Technically. Yes, that hits. You bite down on the rat as part of this, but the rat skeleton as part of this bite attack. As you do, there's almost this surge and this cracking feeling as you bite into bones which snap inside your mouth. It's almost painful initially as the other rats kind of panic, and Vinny, you can hear an audible from a lot of the rats in the room. Before there's this moment where you watch as the ambassador's about to object before he stops and looks up and says, "All hail the new Rat King!" and just bows down in front of Kay.
Right, I do have to head off for the
Yeah,
night.
no, that's fair.
But please keep me very informed of what goes on from this point onwards specifically.
That's fine.
Right,
Okay.
take care, all.
Yeah.
Yeah, later.
Catch you in a bit.
See ya.
Okay. Then Vinny, you hear this, and Kay, distinctly, you hear this as well. As I'll say from your consume and create, you can understand rat now.
Yes. Yes, I am your king.
Yeah, this will be one of yours. You can use your biological resilience to obviously spend a charge to just no rat for an hour, but hey, might come in handy. Very specific speak with animals. Okay.
It might come in handy. Rats are everywhere.
This is true. They are very useful around cities where a lot of this campaign is going to be. So, you consume the rat. You have rat powers, and I will say that for now they will be a shambling bunch until you take your level in collector, which will be happening soon, but not today.
Okay.
Yeah, your level up's coming soon. Don't worry.
Awesome.
Okay. So, with that, is there anything else you'd like to do, Vinny?
Only other things Vinny is doing is spending some time in the in his room, starting to gain proficiency in the loot, and spending some time at the hospice trying to help out where he can.
Okay. I will say
giving bardic inspirations to medics and stuff, using healing word if people are in real trouble. Otherwise, just talking to people, trying to help them keep calm and listening to their stories and their experiences.
Okay. I'll say you get started learning the loot. Obviously, with no teacher, it's going to take time, but that's fine. You help out where you can. You provide assistance to all of this, otherwise performing that act of charity and helping where need be. Okay. And Damian, as the last person, is there anything in particular you would like to do over the course of this short rest?
I do, but you're gonna have to do it in the next session because people are going to bed.
Yep, no, that's fine. I'll handle yours and Lloyd's at the beginning of next session. I think will probably be the best thing to do, and just
I'm
carry
noting
over
it down.
from there.
So just going through it. Yeah.
Yeah, that should be fine. All right. And so, with everybody gathered back at Trenlord's Rest once again, spending some time there and being all nice, some of you, we'll continue this adventure next week, shall we? And see exactly what the party does next. Almost certainly going to be heading southeast, but it's not as if that's orchestrated at all by me or the map. Anyway, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next week when we continue this. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.